Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're doing a little bit of a weekend live stream because, well, I honestly just feel like it. So we're gonna react to my boy, Mr. TJ from Stocks Family Farm. Good man, very good man. One of my good friends, and he's just an incredible human being, and I just appreciate being around him. He's honestly just a cool dude. Straight up a cool dude. So we're gonna react. First, we're gonna react to a clip. Random player, what up? So we're gonna react to a clip that TJ was able to make, and it's awesome. Well, he was able to clip from his overall live stream. It's a conversation between me and Greg. We're gonna start off with that conversation, and I'll let you guys decide who won the debate, me or Mr. Greg. I don't know. I mean, I'm a staunch capitalist, and I'll admit I was very transparent with him. I'm biased as shit. So yeah, I'm just a biased man when it comes to investing. I honestly believe capitalism's good. Best way to own the means of production, to be quite fair and quite honest, is to own stocks. Seriously, owning companies gives you the ability to own the means of production. So it's like it's a win-win situation, in my opinion. All right, so we're gonna react. We're gonna see here.
Ah, that's Rocky's side.
I will admit, anytime I'm on TJ's camera, I do the camera definitely on TJ's video puts like 20 pounds, maybe 200 pounds on me. I look very large. I'm a very large guy, don't get me wrong, but honestly, I don't know what it is.
And Rocky was carrying that one around. Oh, no, he wasn't. He's carrying that one. This person picked his sign out of his sign, their sign, her sign. I don't know. I don't know
them,
pronouns.
They,
but,
them.
Yeah.
They, them, zer. Okay, let's just watch this. We got Annie in the house, dude. Got random player. We got Annie. It's just good to see you all. Let me do a poll real quick. I'm going to do a poll. Trying to think of how I want to word the poll. Hey, Nate Dog, thank you for the happy poop yum yum. I appreciate it. Let's see. We'll just do like the stream to support, and we'll do that as a poll. Polls usually get people interacting and stuff like that. Mr. Nate Dog, what's going on, man? So, yeah, I was hanging out with my boy TJ for a little bit, and not too long. I went down to the, it was like one of those No Kings protests. I was pretty calm this time around. I decided that I would pregame a little bit. I did a little drinky beforehand. So I was pretty calm. I was in Zen mode. But we had a fun debate with Greg, one of the people. We definitely disagreed pretty heavily on this, but that was the most fun part about it, because I honestly enjoy being told that I'm wrong, and then I like to try to let people know why I think I'm right. And ultimately, I'm not going to say I'm a legendary debater. I'm not a legendary debater. I'm just like, I'm right. You're wrong. No. But now we'll see. So I want to know who won the debate. I want you guys to know. I want you guys to let me know who won the debate.
It's fun hanging out with you, man. I just came down here, so I want to hang out. Chill.
Yeah. Really free when CEOs make 200 times their employees' salary. Yeah, that's it.
So that's true, and it kind of sucks, admittedly. You know, there are CEOs that make gobs more money than their underlings, sure. I know the CEO's got to make big decisions, but at the end of the day, I think there's too many CEOs getting these fat paychecks and then just cutting and running. You know what I mean? The moment they've been there for a couple years, I say the best way to keep a CEO is not give him money, but give him a small percentage stake in the company. Give him like a 5% stake in the company. Call it good. Because if you give the CEO a stake of the company, what's going to happen is that CEO is going to have an invested interest in that company when you give him 5% of the whole company, right? He's going to care more about it. When you just give him dollars, when you give him or her, when you give a person, a CEO, money, flat out cash, they're not interested in making the company better because there's no incentive to. This is why I always say that companies that pay a dividend actually have good CEOs because the CEOs have equity in the company and the equity in the company pays them a dividend. So they have an invested interest personally in making the company better. Everybody needs incentives, whether you're a CEO or whether you're an employee. It's just that simple. Human beings need incentives.
Actually, the definition of freedom, that's capitalism and free market. It saved more lives in this world than socialism and communism, which
I mean, TJ is absolutely right on that one. Socialism and communism have actually killed more people than anything. And granted, capitalism's got its flaws. I'll admit that. But I will say replacing capitalism with socialism, that would be like replacing a sandwich that it's a little bit burnt with a piece of poop, right? Because socialism's a turd, and in this instance, sometimes there are times where capitalism's not perfect, granted. But you definitely don't want communism and socialism. And all the people who do want communism and socialism, they wouldn't last 2 fucking seconds in a communist socialist regime. They think they would, but they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They don't have the grumba. I don't know. I don't think I would. That would suck. Fuck socialism. A lot of people want to leave it because poverty sucks. Socialism and communism just spread poverty, man. At least that's my study of history overall.
causes a lot, takes lives.
Admittedly, though, I was a little bit I like I said, I kicked back a few drinks before going down there. So I'll admit, when I was talking to Greg and debating him on the finer points of share buybacks, I was a little bit tipsy, maybe more than I'm willing to let on. But I feel like I held my own, even though I slurred some of my words, admittedly.
I mean,
But honestly, when you go down to a protest like this, because I just wanted to see TJ, to be honest, at the end of the day. It's fun to talk to him, but I was a little bit like, But yeah, it felt good. Ryan, what up, dude? Goopinder. Yeah. Oh, God, Goopinder. Anyway, let's keep going.
What's that?
I don't want tax cuts for people who bribe politicians for a living.
You don't want tax cuts for people that bribe politicians for a living?
Okay, so I'm about to make a really cool point in just a few moments that would solve all of our worries. It really would. It would solve all of our problems, but nobody's willing to listen to me.
I mean, so...
like, seriously, if you guys let me know, if you guys think that this is a low IQ idea or a high IQ idea, please let me know, because I'm about ready to not take the mic, but TJ's about ready to let me cook.
I agree that some of the lobbyists, they're a problem, you know. I'm definitely not that. I mean, like, George and Alex Soros, the Open Society Foundation, Act Blue, a lot of these other NGOs and foreign organizations that are pumping money into our politics, they should stop too.
Get rid of federal income tax and just make it to where there's federal sales tax. That way nobody can avoid it. So federal sales tax would actually make it where nobody could avoid taxes at that point. It would force a tax to a certain degree. I'm not a big fan of taxes, to be honest, but at the end of the day, I understand certain things need to be paid. But if people don't want billionaires to get tax cuts, just abolish federal income, federal sales tax on everything, maybe, I don't know, 5%, 4%, I don't know what's too high or too low. Talk to economists. I can't fucking talk.
Economists,
yeah. I'm a little bit slow. But yeah, no, that's my solution. Federal income, like seriously, federal state, not federal state, that doesn't make sense. Federal sales tax is all, I mean, that would solve all the problems.
Yeah.
Rich people couldn't avoid it. They'd still have to pay that tax at the time of sale, whatever they're buying, and it would actually balance things out.
Even if they're buying $100 million company,
Yeah,
I mean, that's a purchase, right?
And then that way nobody would be able to bypass, whether it's write-offs or anything, nobody would ever be able to technically bypass it because they'd have to pay it at the time of sale. Boom, problem solved.
I do like deductions and write-offs.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, but like at the same time, everybody wants fairness. A flat federal sales tax, boom, we just solved the problem.
What's your thoughts on that, Greg? A flat federal sales tax.
I think it disadvantages poor people more.
But
because you have capital gains that are hidden from sales tax. And so the richest of the rich will hide all their money in stocks and never pay taxes.
I mean, that's what I do. I hide all my money in stocks, and I pay taxes though. But like, I still hide. I have all my money in like things that give me cash flow and stuff like that. So I do what rich people do. It's just not at their scale. I'm like an ant at that level. But at the same time, I understand why they do it, because they believe that the government's ineffective. And if you believe the government,
Now, so what did you guys think? What did you guys think about my point? Do you guys think that a federal, because honestly, I think a federal sales tax would be amazing, because it would be something that you couldn't write off. You would have to pay it. You wouldn't be able to get your taxes back on that one. It would just be flat tax. You pay it right then and there. So if I'm buying a candy bar, 5% sales tax. Boom. Abolish income tax. Abolish income tax. That's it. Poor people rich people gotta eat too, okay? So if you guys say that you want the rich to pay their fair share of taxes and not avoid it, well, here's the thing. A federal sales tax. That would be unavoidable, because rich people still consume just as much as poor people do. In fact, you could argue that rich people consume potentially far more, depending on what they're into. Some people live like Warren Buffett, and that's like me. But anyway, let's keep going. But yeah, Garzaception, yep. Exactly.
it's ineffective, you're going to do everything you can legally not to pay taxes. And honestly, the tax code would just need to change at that point. So that's my sense on it. But
Any thoughts?
You're not going to tax the billionaires with a sales tax and make a tax that actually solves the budget.
Well, and here's the problem though. So if you tax people on unrealized gains, which is what I think you're saying, that's actually unethical no matter what. And funny thing is federal.
So hold on a sec. If taxing unrealized gains is unethical, then when property tax for people's homes goes up and is assessed year after year after year,
property tax is unethical.
Then that is...
Yep, property taxes are deeply unethical.
I think property tax is ridiculous. You don't really own your home.
That's
the government technically owns your home.
One of the things destroying Oregon.
Pays property tax.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that property tax is dumb? Like, I firmly believe that property tax is one of the stupidest things in the world. Like, what's the point of... there's no incentive to own a home. And here's the thing. There's also no incentive to make your home look nice either. Because every time your home's value goes up in price, you have to pay a higher property tax. So you might as well do everything in your power to make your house look like a piece of shit on the outside. That's what I would say. But you know what I mean? There's no, property tax actually disincentivizes people from making their house look good. Why would I want to make my property value why would I want to make the value of my property go up when I know that my property tax rate's going to go up with it? I might as well make my fucking place look, I mean, I rent, I don't own, but if I did own a home, I would actually be kind of pissed about property tax. Like, I don't understand why people want to be homeowners when you have to pay property tax. Obviously, I know that my landlord has to pay property tax. I get that. It's frustrating. I think property tax is deeply illegal and should be illegal. Yeah, I think it should be illegal. I think property tax is horribly unethical, and it is a tax on unrealized. It is sort of a tax on unrealized value gains of your own home. Yeah, I don't know. Government pisses me off so much. Sorry, let's keep going. I had to interject there, but yeah, I believe property tax should be illegal. Like, yeah, I think property tax is stupid.
Tax, a capital gains tax on property, and the richest don't pay capital gains tax on money.
Well, first off, I think that property tax is stupid and should be abolished no matter what. But I do see what you're saying. But here's the thing: I as a regular person don't have to pay any tax on my stocks. I mean, I don't think a rich person should need to either. And I think that when you own stake in a company, you're owning the means of production. So it's like, I don't know. That's just the way I see it, though. I mean, I'm definitely I'm pretty gay for capitalism and stuff, and I believe you could tax realized gains. I
say that I'm gay for things a little too much. I do. I say that I'm gay for a lot of stuff. I'm like, I'm gay for capitalism, gay for the stock market, things of that nature. So I can't help it, you guys. I can't help the way I am. Oh. Make sure that you guys double tap your screen to like the stream one more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's keep going.
That's fine. I just think that I still think property tax is really stupid. And I know it goes to schools and all that shit and all that garbage, but I still think that property tax is ridiculous. It's like you don't really own your home. That's why it just, yeah, I actually would love to see a politician. My favorite politician would be somebody who wants to abolish property tax.
Yep.
That's the politician I'd vote for. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on.
I mean, I'm still pretty anti-Democrat, though. And, well, to be honest, I think, well, the problem with Democratic Socialists, I was thinking about this, is Democratic Socialists don't believe in property tax either. But then again, they don't believe in people having property rights. So that's a person that I technically couldn't vote for because Democratic Socialists are basically stupid anarchists who want to control everybody. That's the way I see it. That's the way I personally see it. I'm don't tell me not to believe my lying eyes. All right. Don't tell me, don't believe your lying eyes, man. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Property taxes are terrible. I mean, we have so many homeless elderly people on the streets in Oregon, and a lot of that is because they were taxed out of their homes that maybe they lived in for 30 years. And like you said, the property gets reassessed for tax value every single year, and these people that, may have had even on a
like, seriously though, nothing pisses me off more than property tax. I think property tax is so fucking stupid. And in a lot of ways, it decentivizes home ownership. Hey, abolish property tax, man. Whoever can try to abolish property tax, I'm voting for you. I'm voting for you, man.
stable income or whatever, a fixed income, at one point they were fine paying the property taxes, but now the values of home have increased so much. I mean, look at what's happening in California. I like to stay about local, but I mean, you see what's down there. Some of them houses that were bought for $20,000 are now worth $1 million. And it's just, they've been taxed out of their homes, and that's why Oregon and Washington, I mean, some of the highest taxes in the entire country, and 49th in affordability out of all 50 states. Like, that's pretty.
That is crazy, dude. I didn't realize how bad the affordability crisis was here in fucking Oregon, dude. That's crazy. My God. But yeah, housing affordability is a real issue. And like, I've just kind of come to peace with the fact that I'll never be able to own my own home. I've just come to peace with that. It sucks. Like, the only equity that I have is all of my companies that I invest in, which I'm fine with because, I mean, they pay me to exist. They pay me to exist. I love it. I think it's fabulous. I think it's great. But some people think it's insane. I don't know. But hey, make sure you guys double tap your screen to like the stream. We got to get more people. We got to get more people, yo. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Intense, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't have oil refineries or gasoline producers here in our state, and I think that drives the cost of everything.
Well, California has oil refineries, and they don't have the cheapest gas. Most of the cheapest gas is found in the Central America, where the farmers are.
Yeah.
Not central like Mexico.
Well,
but
because
like
a lot of that
Iowa.
yeah. Well, and as someone from Iowa, I can tell you, I watched that whole transition happen when they first started introducing biofuel, like ethanol-based fuels and stuff like that. I will tell you, yes, that's good to an extent. However, the amount of stuff you have to do to fix your cars, because that stuff will clog your, just terrible. It's terrible for your car.
Now, are there places where you can get gas that doesn't have ethanol mixed into it? That's one thing I am kind of curious about, because I know that there's like 10% ethanol in all that shit. I just want pure unleaded gasoline. In fact, you know what? I'm going to ask ChatGPT right now. Where can I purchase, ChatGPT, where can I purchase gasoline that doesn't have ethanol in it and is pure regular unleaded gas? To be honest, to be fair, I don't want to risk my car's health, because sometimes having ethanol in your car, even if it's just a 10% blend into the gasoline, I don't think it's a good thing. Forgive my ignorance. I just don't think that's a good thing. Dude, I'm so hooked on Chris Hansen right now. It's not even funny, dude. I keep thinking about Chris Hansen. I love Chris Hansen, dude. Chris Hansen, by the way. Okay, Chris Hansen. Little does Greg know that I'm a little intoxicated. They call me the White Diddy, dude. They call me the White Diddy. Oh, there are clear gas locations. So I'm checking specific. Here's the thing, man. I want 0 ethanol. I want 0. I want to find a pump that has 0% ethanol in it. Right? I don't know how much more I'd have to pay for that. Assuming you do have several. Oh, really? Where are these places? I want to know, bro. There's places. Oh, VP Racing Fuels. I did not know that. Ethanol-free gasoline, Inglewood Market. Are these the only Davy Jones Locker? Are those the only 3 options? So those places, I mean, like, luckily the modern cars can handle 10% ethanol most of the time. But, like, dude, I don't know. Oh, the guy on top. Yeah, that's Mr. Greg. He's not that bad. I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but he's got a pretty good heart, it seems like. So,
Cars aren't meant to run on corn; they're meant to run on fuel. And so I see benefits of bringing down oil production costs and gas. Well, I shouldn't say oil production; I'd say gasoline production. And refineries and stuff like that in Iowa. And so the reason that a lot of them have lower costs is because of the ethanol and the corn farmers. Even their diesel isn't much lower than the national average.
Well, I mean, they're paying a good $1 less per gallon than we are.
Right. I talk to my brother all the time, who's back there still, yeah.
And corn is only mixed into the fuel for half the year.
No.
Yeah, in the winter they don't run corn because it freezes.
They still use ethanol.
It gels up, doesn't it?
You don't run it in a diesel engine. You run it in, unleaded
but they have the summer blend and the winter blend.
Right.
And one of those has ethanol and one doesn't.
They both do. It still gels up, but it's just a lower percentage. It's like E10 versus. Look at that that bus. That thing is cool. Yeah.
I do want to say one thing though, real quick. Federal income tax. When it started out, it was only towards the billionaires and the really rich, towards the Rockefellers. And shit, right?
And
then what happened? The government was like, government got greedy. They're like, let's start taxing a little lower, and then a little lower, and then a little lower, and then everybody has to pay federal income tax. I feel like the same thing will happen if we allow the government to do an unrealized gain tax on rich people.
Yes. It's going to be the same thing. History repeats itself all the time with this shit. So the problem here's the thing. Federal income tax was not a thing way back in the day. It was implemented towards the very rich. But when you implement a bad idea to the very rich, eventually the government's like, if we could do this to the rich and they'll accept it, we could do this to the poorest of the poor and they'll accept it. That's the problem with government that I have, is that you give them an inch, they will take a million miles. They will. You don't want to give them an inch. And they'll convince you that what they're doing is just because look at those bad billionaires. Ooh, look at how bad they are. That's basically their justification. But here's the thing. If you do unethical things to if the government does unethical things to billionaires, what is to stop them from doing unethical things to you? Nothing, because they will. Just like how they did federal income tax to guys like Rockefeller and whoever the hell else back in the day. And then they eventually trickled, I call it trickle down taxonomics. There's trickle down economics, and then there's trickle down taxonomics, where the government will always find a way to tax everybody on something stupid. My boy Hezekiah says millions of uncollected bottle deposits are given directly to OBRC every single year instead of that money going back to the state to pay for mental institutions, law enforcement, and many more things. Oh, yeah. I could see that. That's fucking crazy, man. Holy shit. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation that Greg and I are having on this one, because like I really wanted to get back to that topic that we were talking about unrealized gains. I think unrealized gains is extremely just the worst idea in the world. I think it's something that the Democratic Socialists are pushing towards the billionaires. But my fear is this, is that when you do unrealized gains on people's assets, because what if they choose to hold the assets and they don't want to sell them? That's their right. That's their choice. The only time you should tax a gain is if it's realized, not unrealized. I believe there's a special place in hell for people who want to tax unrealized gains. And I do believe that property tax is essentially a tax on unrealized gains to some degree. They just want to make you think that, oh, property taxes are... I honestly hate fucking property taxes. I don't even own a fucking home, and I think property taxes are illegal. Should be illegal. No, I just, the one thing I will say about Greg on this one that did kind of piss me off is that he was saying, oh, it just seems that you like these things because they benefit you. Not necessarily. Yes, am I biased? Sure. But I do see the bigger picture. Here. And the bigger picture is this with share buybacks. We'll get to the share buybacks part actually here in a second. Let's keep this going, and the share buybacks conversation comes up soon.
They'll be like, oh, we can then do an unrealized gain on millionaires, not just billionaires, millionaires, then middle class, then poor, for any assets, whether it's houses. Could you imagine if you own a $200,000 home and then suddenly its value jumps up to $400,000, then you got to pay a tax on the overall unrealized gain of your valued house? That would put so many people bankrupt. And I know it wouldn't happen immediately, but I feel like they would do the same thing like they did back in the day. Because once we give the federal government an inch, they will take a million miles. Like,
I'm only an inch, by the way. That's my wang size. I didn't need to inject that, did I? Let's cut that. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Okay, let's keep going.
That's the thing that scares me. That's why if you propose something unethical, even on billionaires, that's where they get you. It's like, it's just the billionaires. You won't have to worry about it. You're okay. And then eventually it's going to be like, oh, now we're going to just tax everybody on unrealized gains, no matter what the asset is, whether it's real estate or stocks.
So when the federal tax first started, and this is my understanding, is they knew that they weren't going to be able to keep the tax rate at 91% for the richest for a long period of time. So the plan when they enacted it was always for it to kind of go lower once the billionaires didn't have their value anymore. But we cut it down way before the billionaires lost their value.
Yeah.
And then we enacted all sorts of, then the government enacted all sorts of policies that just trickled or made the
Greg did the policies. No, just kidding. Just kidding. But no, let's keep
the
going.
wealth flow right back up to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so when we enacted that 91% tax rate, what did that bring out of America?
Bill O'Reilly's gonna haunt your dream, says as a guy. Hey, E.T., my boy, says, what's up, Garza, my pink brony bro? Who are you interviewing? Well, actually, TJ is basically almost like a debate moderator in this. Greg and I are kind of we're having a fun disagreement. Like, I'm a very opinionated young man, as I always say. So I was kind of, I've always wanted to kind of talk to Greg because I know that he and I don't see the world the same, and I enjoy disagreement. I really do. Not because I'm because I guess you could say that I don't make my beliefs my identity. So that's why I don't really get offended when people don't see my point of view. I'm used to people not seeing my point of view. I'm used to rarely people see my point of view, and that's okay. I mean, like, granted, I'm a bit of an odd duck. I'm a contrarian by nature. I try to be different, Let's keep going.
That was in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s. It was right after World War II.
Hold on. That sheriff was on his phone. Can we agree that it's illegal to talk on your phone while you're driving?
Yeah. I mean, was it hands free?
Nope.
The
sheriff was holding it up.
Oh, if he's hands free, it's cool. If he's not, that's pretty lame.
Guilty.
Well, yeah. If the sheriff, I don't know. It depends. Was it a business call? I still don't think you should be holding. I'm not a big fan of people holding the phones and then driving like this. I think it's a bad idea. Granted, I mean, if it's an emergency, it's an emergency. Like, I can understand if there's an emergency, you have no way of making it hands-free and you just got to answer it for whatever reason. I'll make an exception to that. But if it wasn't for business, I mean, if it wasn't for business purposes and it's a rules for thee, not for me thing, it's like,
I better not get a ticket.
Whatever.
If I ever get a ticket,
That's the most messed up thing, isn't it?
yeah. If I ever get a ticket by the Coos County Sheriff for talking on my phone while I'm driving, I'm going to pull up this video.
But I do see your point, though, about that's the thing that scares me is I'm just afraid that eventually everybody's going to get taxed on their unrealized gains. I'm not like defending billionaires. I still think unrealized gain tax is just unethical to begin with. I think it's dumb because it's like, just because the value of what you own is up, next year the value of what you own could actually go down.
I hear you.
So it's like,
can I ask a couple questions on that?
Yeah.
What do you think is the ethicalness of stock buybacks?
Oh, actually very ethical.
Okay, so you guys depending on my audience, you guys are either going to hate my response or love it. I am pro share buybacks. Hezekiah says, was it Gabe or was it a deputy? I don't know who is. I have no idea. It was like a police officer driving. I didn't catch it. I didn't catch who it was, to be honest. But Hezekiah, thank you for the happy poop yum yum. I appreciate it, Brony. My Brony bro. We're not really bronies. Let's. Eric Klein wants me to sing some Snow Patrol. I'll just give you guys a quick little ditty. P Diddy. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and love Joe Biden? Okay, here we go.
Because what you're doing is you're actually helping the shareholders out by actually making it to where there's less shares, and that actually makes it to where they're not only more rare, but also increases shareholder value. So it depends.
So stock buybacks used to be illegal.
I don't think they should. I actually don't think they should. Just because something was illegal.
And this is my point. Just because something was illegal doesn't mean it was right. You can make anything illegal and then realize that it was stupid to make that thing illegal, right? So I don't think share buybacks are naturally a bad thing. It benefits not only the shareholders. If you're like, this is why I tell people, if you invest in companies, you benefit. This is why I say owning a home is stupid. I personally believe that owning a home is stupid at this point. You might as well just own the means of production. When you own stocks, you own the means of production. You are an owner. Do you have much say-so? Nah. I mean, if you're just a minority shareholder and you only have like a couple shares, I mean, you still get the benefits of being the owner. The company does well, you do well. Company does bad, you don't do so great. Oh, well. And that's the risk you take as an investor. Investing's risky, but if you're diversified, you mitigate the risks as such. But, it's just my opinion on it. Okay, let's keep going.
Doesn't mean it was right. No, and I'm serious.
So the argument for stock buybacks in your thought is that it brings shareholder value?
Oh, I've actually,
and that's why we should allow it?
Well, I mean, if the company, here's the thing. If I'm the CEO of a company and I realize that the price of my company is actually lower than book value, of course I'm going to do a share buyback. That's the smartest thing I could do, because then I'm not only helping my people here.
Tell me
I'm also
a
helping all
single
shareholders.
Fortune 500 company that is anywhere near its book value.
And granted, I'm about ready to tell Greg that most companies like in the S&P 500 are 10, 20, 30 or more times price over earnings. That's granted. Everybody wants a piece of that, so naturally they're all going to be overvalued. Naturally. the question is, companies do take a little bit of a risk when they do share buybacks. Granted, it's not a perfect science. It's not a perfect science. But if your projections are that your company is going to continue to do well now and into the future, do a stock buyback. Help your shareholders out. If you have the excess profits to do so, buy back your shares. Why not, man? That's me personally. That's my belief system personally on it. But yeah, it's just no. I firmly love share buy, not just because I'm a shareholder. And granted, I'm biased, but when they do share buybacks, you're actually helping the current shareholders. You're giving them an advantage. You're really giving them a huge advantage. Like, you're taking shares out of circulation. You're not diluting your shareholders. And you can make the argument that the people who really suck are the people who dilute their shareholders, right? People who, when you invest in the company, they issue more shares. You could argue that issuing more shares is actually far more unethical than buying back the shares. In fact, I think buying back the shares is great, as long as you have the excess profits to do so without interfering with business operations. Simple as that. That's all I'm going to say. Let's keep going.
They're all usually about 10 to 20 times price over earnings, but usually
But they're still doing stock buybacks. So stock buybacks, if I could,
but they also know how well their
help you
company's
out
going to
here.
do in the future based on a lot of stuff. But and now some of them don't. Some of them are just being idiots when they do. I'm not saying every CEO is smart. Some of them are really
So
bad
do you
shit
have
crazy.
any idea why stock buybacks would have been illegal back in the day?
I'm not too sure why anybody would think. I mean, here's the thing: I'm pro stock buybacks, share buybacks, mainly because I'm a shareholder in a lot of different companies, and it's benefited me wholeheartedly. So I'm very biased. Admittedly, I'm biased on that one. But
Yeah, and I think I'll admit I'm biased, super biased. I love share buybacks because I have benefited from them because I'm an investor. As an investor, I love share buybacks. Whenever I have like shares in Apple or shares in Coca-Cola, and I hear they're performing a share buyback, I sweet. That means you're increasing my equity in the company that I have, in the company I own. No capital. You have to rely on credit and pay interest. By the time you're 18, you have no capital. But yeah, no, the reason that I'm so one of the big reasons that why I'm into dividend stocks is because they're basically a golden goose. Because think about it this way. I want dividend stocks because I don't ever want to sell any of my equity. Ever. So the whole idea is to have dividend stocks. Stocks that you can own that have actual cash flow and the company's willing to pay you dividends. That's amazing. But yeah, no, I'm pro share buyback. Absolutely pro share buyback. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't be. I mean, I understand there are some companies that have used it in fraudulent ways, but there are also companies that issue shares repeatedly and dilute their shareholders. We got to go after those companies. Those companies suck.
I'm curious though.
So Congress banned stock buybacks because it artificially inflated a company's value beyond what it was actually worth.
Yeah.
And then when something went wrong, that company had a bubble pop, and a lot of people would lose a whole lot of money.
Was that like Enron or something, or?
No, it was before that. It was way before that. It was back in the 50s.
Oh, back in the 50s. Okay.
Okay. It was
Admittedly, I don't know every single company that's ever sucked. I've studied like general bubbles that have popped. I've never really gone into the nitty gritty, so I don't know which company Greg's actually. I can't remember what company he even mentioned in this video, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
In the golden age, the gilded age, in the 1890s, right? Like that's when companies were able to buy their stocks back. And then around World War I or II, we made it illegal.
Yeah.
And then around Reagan, they made it legal again. And ever since Reagan, our stock markets kind of been on this bubble path.
Well, my argument is as long as the company's profitable and they have at least, and it depends on how they're doing it. Like some CEOs are really freaking dumb, and I'll admit that. And there are some, and like luckily that's why I always say just stay diversified and you'll be fine. But but I've benefited from like Apple, for example, doing their share.
It's so funny. The irony is most of these communists all have Apple phones. And yet Apple's probably one of the most tyrannical corporations that they should be hating, to be honest. All these communists and socialists all have iPhones, and yet Apple, the Apple company itself, should be the epitome of everything they fucking hate. Just saying. Just saying. Now, granted, I have a Google Pixel 8 Pro. I have a Google Pixel 8 Pro. Oh God. But yeah, no, this is it's a great little this is a great little debate between me and Mr. Gregory. I think I had fun with it, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I actually had a great deal of fun talking to this guy. I you know, he and I vehemently disagree with just about everything under the sun. I'll admit that. But he's fun to talk to. I'll admit, I did actually have a fun time talking with Greg, because I do think he's a very thoughtful individual. But you know, I heavily, like, in this type of subject, though, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little pompous and I'm a little arrogant. I'll admit that. I get a little pompous and arrogant. TJ says it was a great conversation. Oh, it was fun, man. I had a blast. Thank you for filming it too. This is just fun to react to. It's fun to do like a post-game report, you know, here, because I felt like also I was, like I said, I was a little bit tipsy when I was talking to Greg, so I wasn't really explaining all my points fully. So I figured this kind of gives me an opportunity to explain my points a little bit in full to where people understand my point of view. And, you know, I will say the one thing I respect about Greg in this is he wasn't I don't think he was, I hope he wasn't trying to find any gotcha. I mean, maybe he was, I don't know. But granted, I admit I talked a lot during this, but I'm so passionate about investing that, like, granted, I know that there probably are times when share buybacks are really stupid, granted, especially if your company is extremely overvalued, then doing share buybacks is stupid. But if your company, like, if a market crash happens and you have the capital to buy your own shares of your own company to take those out of circulation, just fucking do it, dude. Just do it, dude. Well, my dad's talking about wiener sauruses. I don't know how I feel about that. He's probably on some questionable websites right now. Dad, stay off those websites, man.
Share buybacks. I've benefited from Microsoft doing their share buybacks. I'll admit I've benefited.
For now. You've benefited for now because it's still on the bubble.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing: any company can start failing at any time. That's why I always tell everybody: the smartest thing you do is stay diversified, because a company can fail. It really can. That's why you never want to put all your eggs in one basket. But
Unless it's
yeah, you never do. You want to stay diversified, like you really do. As much as I love Coca-Cola, and I don't believe Coca-Cola is going anywhere, I still don't put all my equity in Coca-Cola. I want to be so diversified that there's no way to kill my portfolio. The only way to kill my portfolio value, technically, is if you get rid of every single company under the sun, internationally and in the U.S. That's my take on it. That's my take on it.
XRP.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Oh, TJ snuck in an XRP. I love you, TJ. TJ says it was a great conversation. I wish I could have recorded more, but oh, dude, don't even sweat it, brother. I just had fun even talking to Greg for like 20. Well, and then after the camera was, you know, out of there, it was still fun to talk to Greg. Greg and I just ended up sitting down, talking a little bit more about, like, there's a petition that he actually is going to be putting out there, which I'm actually on board signing, by the way. I'm fully on board signing this. It's one of those, he explained it to me, but I'm such a dumbass sometimes. But I remember at the time I agreed with it because I understood it. So if I remember what he said, it was basically something that prevented, holy shit, I'm drawing a blank. But it prevented corporations from doing things within the government. And I can't remember what that thing was. But anytime somebody tells me they want me to sign a petition that prevents corporations from interfering with government, I'm all in. And vice versa. Any petition to make it to where governments can't interfere with businesses that much, I'm in. I believe in the I understand, like, the separation of church and state, but I do believe there should be a separation of business in state. And the reason I believe there should be a separation of business and state is simple. I just think it's an unhealthy relationship for companies to get involved in government, because then they could start taking over the government, which is not what you want. I think the proper term for that's like an oligarchy. I can't remember if that's the proper term for it or not, but let's keep going. Eric Klein is asking, are you still buying silver? Yeah, so I buy silver whenever it dips, and then I sell it when it goes up. I basically am a swing trader of silver, ultimately. I'm getting some messages here. Okay, my dad... So, Wienersaurus is real. They're cool dinosaurs, but they will bite your you-know-what off. That's why they are a Wienersaurus. Sore ass. I see what he's saying. I see what he's doing. Say it. Say. Oh, I already said it. I basically said all I should say. Oh man, my dad constantly loves the futa shit. He loves that futa stuff. I don't look up. Please do not look up futa. By the way. Ugh. This is why older people shouldn't have the internet. They end up looking up kinky porn and then telling their sons about futas. But no, but that's what my dad's into. He's into the chicks that have the fake schlongs. The schlongs. That's what he's into anyway.
Honestly, when you're an investor, you are taking a risk one way or another. So like, it's never like a for sure safe thing, no matter what you're getting into. But like share buybacks, I prefer dividend stocks more than anything.
No, these aren't stocks like that we would own. Their stock buybacks are corporations buying their own stock.
Well, yeah, and these are stocks that we do own. This is the one fallacy that Greg's not realizing, is that companies like Apple, they repurchase their own shares, the shares that Greg and I can easily get as retail investors. What happens is that's okay. There is no shame in that. They're taking shares out of circulation. So Greg is wrong. Companies will buy their own shares. Sometimes they'll buy back the Class A shares if they have Class A, Class B ones. I believe the Class A gets priority, whereas the Class B doesn't get as high of a priority. You do take a little bit of a risk I think you take more of a risk when you get Class B. You're better off trying to get Class A shares, in my opinion. Let's keep going.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And that's what artificially raises the price.
Well, that's the thing though. I'm okay with that, because think about it this way: when you're actually you're taking shares out of circulation, which makes them more rare, which of course is why the price is going to go up. Now, if the company continues to do well, great, and the existing shareholders will continue to do well as well. But they may not. There's always that possibility.
You're welcome.
I don't think share buybacks are unethical unless they're doing it to basically make themselves look good when they're not doing good. That's when
See that? She was thanking me.
Unethical. That's an unethical.
He was glad I'm out here.
They know that their company is going to keep doing well over time, and they have a really, not just a good feeling, but good data, good backings. I support it. Like I said, Apple, they have been the king of share buybacks, and I'm totally.
Oh yeah, Apple does. In fact, if anything, let's look that up. Let's look. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Does Apple perform a lot of share buybacks? Because last time I checked, they do. But ChatGPT is going to give me an answer, and I'll read what ChatGPT says. So ChatGPT says, yes, Apple is one of the biggest share buyback companies in the world. And buybacks are a major part of how it returns cash to shareholders. In Apple's fiscal 2024, it repurchased about $95 billion of its own stock in the first 9 months of fiscal 2026. So if you're an Apple shareholder, you benefit from this. If you're a shareholder. This doesn't affect Apple consumers negatively. It helps actual shareholders really well. So I don't see any problem with share buybacks. I never have. I don't understand why it's a problem. I think people do freak out about share buybacks a little too much, if we're going to be fair. I just don't get the freak out, man. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Let's keep going.
Fine with it, because I benefited. Like I said, I'm selfishly benefit. I'm biased as fuck. I'll admit I'm biased, and And yeah, I do see where you're coming from, though. There are some companies who use it as a way to like, oh, because all these naive people will be like, oh, this company's doing share buybacks. I should probably get in because they're clearly doing good. And so I get that part of it, because there will be CEOs that take advantage of the naive retail investors. Absolutely. And those ones need to be investigated by the SEC immediately. So yeah.
It sounds like your position is you're for it as long as it's benefiting you. And
it's not just me who benefits it, it's anybody who actually is a shareholder. It's not just me who benefits it. And I think the thing is, and I love Greg, because I don't think he's that bad of a guy, but I feel like, he probably would say the same about me on this one, that his understanding of it just doesn't feel complete. It feels like it's lacking. I just feel like he hasn't studied this as much as I have. Like, granted, I do have holes in my knowledge. I'm not going to claim to know it all. I'm not going to claim that. But I will say this, Greg. Like, it doesn't just benefit me. It benefits anybody who is a shareholder. So if you took the time, and money talks, bullshit walks. Okay? So if you pony up the money to buy shares of some companies, and the companies do share buybacks, you benefit. Not only you, but anybody else who is invested in said company. And to be honest, you should be rewarded if you're a shareholder. So it's up to you. You have the right, you have the ability to benefit from this. You just have to be a shareholder. And it's not like there's any gatekeepers. If you have a brokerage account, which anybody can get, basically, almost anybody, if you have a pulse, you're pretty much good. But yeah. Okay, so my dad is saying it's false wealth. Not necessarily. So if you're taking the profits, and I'm going to explain this to my dad because my dad doesn't get it. It's not false wealth. I'll give you an example. If Apple profited, let's say Apple's profits for the quarter were like, I don't know how much Apple actually makes, but let's say they made $200 billion in actual real profit, right? After taxes and everything. $200 billion. And let's just say that's like a lot of money they made. They profited very heavily. So what are they going to do? They're going to be like, okay, let's buy back some of our shares at a price that we can agree with. So they're going to buy back the shares at whatever the market price is if they think it's a good idea to buy at the moment. And what they do is they take the shares out of circulation, right? And when you take the shares out of circulation, this gives the actual shareholder the benefit. Not only does the CEO benefit if he's a stakeholder, which he probably is. I think Tim Cook, last time I checked, is still the CEO and was still a stakeholder in Apple, for example. My point is this. Share buybacks are not unethical. The only thing unethical is people who are uneducated and don't understand how share buybacks work. It's not fake wealth. How is it fake wealth? You're basically taking shares out of circulation. You know what's unethical is being a company and constantly issuing more shares and diluting shareholder worth because you have to keep getting more money because you're an unprofitable company. If Apple's a profitable company, they take their excess profits and they buy back their own shares. So that way the shareholders benefit from those buybacks. They benefit because now the pool of shares out there shrinks. And when it shrinks, you know what happens? The value of everybody's shares who's a stakeholder goes up. And the company is still performing well. It doesn't stop the company from performing well if they buy their own freaking shares. Like, it's a simple process, man. And Dad, like, I love you, man, but you just haven't studied economics at the level that I have to understand that share buybacks are not fake wealth. They use the Apple company uses their real profits from the sales of all their fucking iPhones and app store shit or whatever their revenue streams are. They take that real money that real cash that they made and realize, let's just buy our shares. Let's, as a company, buy shares, take them out of circulation. And then once we do that, with all the excess profit that we got, we're then building shareholder equity by making it to where not only are the shares that we have out there more rare, it makes them more valuable. and people are more willing to maybe potentially hold them or sell them. I don't know. It's up to them. Yeah, so I mean, like, you can't argue with that because it's not a bad idea to buy you're basically buying equity of your own company and then taking it out of circulation. That doesn't sound like such a bad thing to me. In fact, it seems pretty fucking smart if you ask me. But, you know, it's not a bad thing. Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it. But, you know, like, overall, I mean, share buybacks are not that bad. I don't think they're that bad. I think it's exaggerated. I think that the whole I really do think share buybacks are an exaggerated thing as to like the level of how bad they are and stuff like that. I've never understood that argument. Granted, I mean, like, I do see where Greg is coming from. I just don't agree with where he's coming from. I just don't think he's correct. I just don't. I mean, I know he thinks that I'm not correct either, as I'm super pro. I am super pro share buyback. But the problem is here, Greg, I love you, man, but you are, I mean, like, the people who really suck are the people who are diluting their shareholders. If you're buying back shares, you should be applauding. If you have the actual profits, you should be applauded. You should be congratulated. But if you're one of those bullshit companies that keep issuing shares like Michael Saylor's micro wiener strategies, then you're a piece of garbage and you suck, especially when you're diluting your own shareholder base. I think that's terrible. Anyway, that's the way I see it.
No,
That's okay as long.
It benefits not just me, any other shareholder too. Anybody who's willing to own the means of production, and I own the means of production. And if anybody can own the means of production, you can invest in Apple. You can invest in Apple. Nothing's stopping you.
It's not owning the means of production.
Actually, it is. When you own a share of a company, you are an owner of the company.
Sure.
Even if it's a minority
share. You're
shareholder.
not like having any say.
Oh, that's okay. I don't really care if I have say because I know they're running it better than I would run it. Because
I mean, I think I'm right on this one. Why should I have say? If I'm a minority shareholder, it doesn't matter what I think. If I only own like 1, 10, or 100 shares, I'm still a minority shareholder one way or another, and who the hell cares what I think? I do have a bit of a voice, though. I mean, they do have shareholder meetings where you can, you know, listen in on their calls and stuff like that, and you may be able to, you can actually vote as well. As a shareholder, you do have some say, even if you're a small minority shareholder. Do you have a huge say in it? No. But those companies, I'm sorry, the reason that I invest in Coca-Cola is not because I think I can run Coca-Cola better than the Coca-Cola people. I think that they know what they're doing. And to be honest, I don't want to interfere with their process because whatever they're doing is clearly working. So why would I interfere with their process with my bullshit? You know? Like, why? This is why, like, you know, it's good to listen to your shareholders, but to a point, right? I have zero clue how to run Coca-Cola effectively. I have zero clue how to run Apple effectively. They know. I don't, but they're giving me the opportunity to have equity in the company, and I'm taking that opportunity by investing. That's the point. Okay, hold on. What the hell's my dad saying? Jesus. Okay. So from my dad, and I quote, this is a direct quote from my dad, there used to be a dinosaur called the Pegasaurus Rex. Pegasaurus. Pegasaurus. You see how this looks, right? I'm Chris Hansen, and I have the chat logs. Let's keep going.
I'm stupid as hell. I just want to. I'll admit I'm ignorant as fuck to a lot of shit. I'm fine with that. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. So it's like
yeah, it's like it's true. I'm using very simple language on this one, I know, but I'm trying to get the point across as clearly as possible. Look, I do know what I know, and I know what I don't know. I know there's a lot of shit I don't know, but the things that I do know, absolutely.
When I say I know what I don't know, there's a lot of stuff I don't know, so I'm fine with that. But I know my circle of competence, and that's where I stay. I know these companies I invest in to a degree. Do I know everything internally? Fuck no. They could be corrupt as hell. That's why I stay diversified. But like, you know, and that's why you have to have some regulations to prevent certain levels of corruption. Totally fine with that. I guess I'm a starch capitalist, but I'm willing to admit there are things I don't know. But I also know that I don't think share buybacks are the devil that everybody paints them out to be. It's just
I do think that people blame share buybacks for like their worst day ever. Like I don't understand the hate for share buybacks.
I just don't think they're that bad.
I think
And not
you're
just
lacking the context of the crash that it caused. And
See, share buybacks don't cause crashes. I want to make that very clear. What causes crashes are basically companies just not doing well. And also just honestly, terrible fiscal policy has a lot to do with it. For example, I think that we have the worst monetary policy of all time, and the only thing that prevents the dollar from absolute collapse is the fact that we're the number one reserve currency in the world. That's the only thing. We're basically doing what Zimbabwe did. We're using the printing press. We devalue our own currency every fucking day. We screw ourselves on the regular by devaluing our currency. We screw ourselves hard. So the problem, and here's the thing, currency by default is not valuable at all. It's not backed by anything. It's a currency, for God's sakes. So this is one of the reasons why anytime, this is not financial advice by any means, but anytime you got a freaking currency, and I'm going to sound a little like Matthew McConaughey here, but anytime you got currency, man, I think just invest it. Find something that's inflation proof, whether it's real estate, stocks, silver, gold. I can't think of anything else at the moment, but those are my 4 key inflation proof things. I love gold. Silver's a little crazy, but I do love buying silver on the dip because honestly, when silver goes up on a bull run, it's enormous.
And if you were to look into history and see the trouble that policy begetted, you might have a different understanding.
well, I know market crashes happen all the time. Market crashes.
They
happen.
shouldn't, though.
Well, actually,
They are only
corrections
happening
happen,
in America all the time.
But then everything.
No, that's a lie because there are other countries that have market crashes and then they never recover. That does happen. America, see, the thing is, when we have a market crash, it's usually a correction, usually like a 10, 15, 20% drop, worst case scenario. Catastrophic would be 30, 40% drop, but whatever. Let's keep going. Love you, Greg. I just got to, Greg's got a good soul and a good heart. I just got to disagree with him so hard on some of these points. Market crashes happen for a variety of reasons. Share buybacks are not the only reason for crashes. Terrible monetary policy from the federal government's a big deal. To be honest, companies being ran poorly, that's not good. There's other factors, war, disease outbreaks. It's things that happen that cause market crashes. It's not as simple as just saying that I feel like saying that share buybacks cause a market crash, I think is extremely short-sighted. So let me get this straight. So you could also make the argument that companies that issue more shares also are bad because they keep diluting their shareholders. Like, I just feel like share buybacks are like should not be the devil that everybody's going after. Because if a company takes shares out of circulation, why does that impact? What does that have to do with anything out there? If every company's doing it and they're doing it intelligently, some may not be, and those companies will falter if they do. The point is, don't put your eggs all in one basket. Be a smart investor. I think being diversified is being smart. I don't think it's ignorant. Charlie Munger, for example, one of my idols, Charlie Munger did say that diversification is basically for ignorant people. And granted, there are times I'm ignorant as hell. I don't know all the ins and outs of a company. I could read its balance sheet for the most part. I can understand if the company sucks or is good or terrible, but that's the thing. I don't go all in on one company. I just make sure that I have equity in as many different companies as I can, so that way I'm protecting my ass. But that's the way I see it, man. TJ says silver is awesome due to its volatility and its usefulness. Yeah, absolutely. I love the volatility of silver, man. I will say that the volatility of silver is amazing. Like it gives you so many opportunities that people just don't realize the opportunities that you get when you trade the volatility of it.
bounces back. I mean, only the smart investors like myself, we get in during the crashes, and then when everything goes back up, we end up profiting because we know that everybody panics when certain things happen, and then everything goes back to normal because all these companies continue to keep doing well. The only problem is everybody overly panics, and then I use the Warren Buffett motto: be greedy when everybody's fearful, and be fearful when everybody's greedy. You know, so it's like I've profited from,
and it's a contrarian mindset that I have. Absolutely, I'll admit. And I've profited from market crashes heavily. When the stock market crashed during COVID, I was racking up on ETFs, REITs especially. REITs actually went down quite a bit at one point, and I was like, ooh. And so REITs, when I say REITs, I mean real estate investment trusts. Those are really great because it's like it gives you the ability to get exposure to real estate without having to borrow money to get into real estate. It's really convenient, by the way. It also gives you diversification of real estate too, which is really cool. So owning a bunch of REITs gives you a very broad diversification in real estate overall. Just as an FYI.
So many I've profited from a lot of micro crashes, admittedly, but it's just because I've educated myself. And the thing is, crashes are inevitable. Things happen. A lot of investors, the AI bubble is going to crash. I know it is. But I still expose myself to the technology sector to some degree, but not all of my portfolios. You know, you just got to educate yourself. Things happen. Bad things happen. Shit happens. And also other countries have market crashes too. America's not the only one. Some of them never recovered. And at least America's does, you know, and that's the thing. And
and that's the thing, you know, and this is why you should be broadly diversified. This is why you should be broadly diversified. Because you never know when a crash is going to happen. You never know. It can happen at any time. As long as you're getting into decent companies, I think it's great. But that's the way I see it, at least. Okay, let's keep going.
Because we have great businesses here in America. They're not always the most ethical businesses, admittedly, but, you know, but you can think I'm an idiot for that, but I'm actually pretty smart because I'm the one profiting from it. Is it unethical for me to profit? I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that I've educated myself and I do what the rich people do. I do what the bank does, not what the bank tells me to do.
Yeah, I'm proud of that mentality that I have, to be quite frank. I'm very proud of it. Extremely proud, in fact. That mentality of being a contrarian has actually made me an incredible investor. When silver goes down in price, I start trickle buying into silver. You know, when stocks go down in price, I trickle buy back in. I mean, I'm already in stocks no matter what. I'm always going to be in the market no matter what. I'm always going to be in dividend paying stocks no matter what. My portfolio is extremely boring, by the way, but the reason it's boring is because I want to get into companies that I know are well established, have real positive cash flow, and constantly pay me a dividend or do share buybacks, one or the other. I love I prefer a dividend, to be quite honest, over a share buyback. I love it when a company can do both. Coca-Cola does both, if I remember right. I love my dividends from Coca-Cola. Love my dividends, bro. TJ says, yes, diversify, get XRP. No, stay away from crypto. I know TJ's is pulling my leg, but it's still funny. I still get a kick out of it.
And to be honest,
Do you think you have upward mobility to become one of the rich people?
no, I don't compare myself to anybody.
I'm just you seem to like you say that you're following their path. Do you think that you'll become a rich person?
No, I don't really care if I do. I know my lifestyle is very simple and minimalistic. So I just know that I like owning the means of production. That's all. That's all I care about.
I mean, that is really all I care about. I don't care if I become I do want to become a millionaire, granted, but my real goal is to own the means of production, as much of it as I can. Because if I own the means of production, I own it all.
But I just love owning the means of production, and that's it.
So
I'm a very simple man. I'm not that complicated. Not that complicated.
all right.
But
And I really am not. Like, that's my mentality. It's like you can either educate yourself or you don't. It's not up to me to educate. I mean, I want to educate people. That's why I do this YouTube channel. That's why I talk about investing all the time, is because, truth be told, you could be a great investor. There's nothing stopping you from investing. There never was. I mean, the only thing stopping you is your limiting beliefs. I'm serious. I'm not going to go on like some Tony Robbins tirade right now. What I'm going to tell you, though, straight up, is that the only thing holding you back is you. If you think that owning stocks is a rich person's game, you just lost. If you believe that owning stocks is within your capability, you have an opportunity. It's as simple as that. And you know what? Hezekiah says you need to make a crypto called Garza. There is actually it's called pump.fun. And I should make a Garza coin, but there was a couple coins that I made for fun just because I think crypto's stupid. And one of them was like ridiculous, but TJ says, I love stocks. They're basically family. See, TJ at least invests in his family, and they have the last name Stocks. So TJ, by all technicality, is a stocks investor. I love it, dude. That's great. That's some funny shit, bro. I love it.
I mean, I just look, I understand there's a lot of unethical stuff. I just can't be
Bothered to care about it?
Oh, I care about it to some degree. I just think, though, like, the thing is, it's like there's not as much. I think a lot of people over exaggerate, though, the level of corruption that's happening all over the place. I know there is corruption, but I think the level of corruption is over exaggerated, admittedly.
I do. I really do think that in today's age, we don't have a tiger chasing after us all the time. So I do believe that people will make mountains out of molehills about the stupidest shit and think that corruption's everywhere. They think racism's everywhere. They think everybody's bigoted. They think the world's going to end just because of whatever. Like, I don't know what's happened to society, to be quite frank. It confuses me sometimes. But dude, I think people over exaggerate a lot of shit, especially corruption. Granted, there is corruption. I'm not going to say there isn't. But I think that to the levels that they say there is, they think everything is corrupt. They think if one business is corrupt, then they're all corrupt. You know, so they think if one billionaire is corrupt, then all billionaires are corrupt. I wish they would have that same attitude, though, with criminals. If, you know what I mean? If one person, because they don't. You know, Asmund Gould said it best. You know, it's pretty easy to say that you hate the 1%, but I dare you to blame the 1% for all your problems. But has anybody ever taken the time to blame the bottom 1%? Food for thought. But Asmund Gould said it best, and I think that's pretty funny. Let's see. Hezekiah says everything is racist. Everything is racist. Oh man, but that's funny though, dude. Yeah, it's like everybody thinks that everything's racist, and it's just like, holy shit. Oh, we live in a very sensitive world, everybody. I'm a sensitive man, admittedly, but you know, here's the thing. I don't blame the world for all my problems. You know, the very sensitive, the most sensitive amongst us, and like, I don't mind sensitivity. It's fine to be sensitive. It's fine to be emotional. But at the end of the day, if you're blaming society for everything in your life going wrong, I'm sorry. You got to take some sort of personal accountability at a certain point. It's not easy. It sucks to admit that you're the problem in your life, admittedly. I've been there. It's not a fun talk. I'll just say this. It's not a fun talk to have with yourself. Is to admit when you're the problem in your own world. It sucks. It blows. Anyway, let's keep watching.
That's what I think. I think everybody's making mountains out of molehills about a lot of shit, and I think that's the problem. And we live in a very hyperbolic society, and I think that's mainly the problem, is we tend to make mountains out of molehills as a society, and that annoys the hell out of me. I just... I don't know. I'm sorry. I know that I'm very opinionated. I'm an opinionated young man, but old man. But
okay, so this has been awesome. I've loved this back and forth. Oh no! But the microphone's still in there. Good. But I really have to take a piss. So I'm think I'm gonna end my live stream and walk over to Coney Station before I
Greg, I'll keep talking.
pee my
to you,
pants.
If you feel like if you feel like talking to me.
Yeah.
If you feel like talking, I'm liking this discussion. I know that I come across as very pompous and very sure of myself.
Do you guys want to have this conversation while I go take a piss real quick and I'll come back?
Well, I was just gonna say we could. We don't need to broadcast.
Okay.
To be honest, I just
Okay.
I honestly enjoy talking to you. I think you have a very keen mind. I love it. So, and I just, even if I don't agree with you, I still think you have a very keen mind, and I like how thoughtful you are. So.
Everybody, let's thank Michael Garza from the Real Garza Show, and Greg, the de-escalator here, for the
Hell yeah. No, that was a fun. I honestly had a good
Coos County
time.
Republicans. And thank you all for coming.
Let's see. Eric Klein says Crypt Gaza. Hezekiah says they have been emotionally compromised. Yeah, well, you could say that. Like, the thing is, I don't know. I just think that, and maybe it's a problem with our society, you know, in general. Thanks for the happy poop, Mr. Hezekiah. I appreciate it, brother. But maybe the main issue with our society, from what I could tell, is that, and granted, there are certain things that I'm pretty sure of, and there are certain things I question. So I question my belief on, maybe we're all chronically online. Maybe that's a problem. I try to stay as chronically offline as possible. And the only time it's funny, the only time I really go online anymore is to ask questions to Chat GPT and basically kill my ability to critically think. But but no, I actually do enjoy AI though. AI is very fun. I can make the argument that AI can make you really dumb or really smart depending on how you use it. But you have to be, you still have to have the ability to critically think. I think it's good to write down things every day. I think it's good to honestly, constantly think, constantly do things. Thank you, Mr. TJ, for that W, for the win. W for the win. Appreciate it, Brony. My Brony bro. I gotta stop calling everybody bronies, dude. I got a problem. Everybody's a brony. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everyone's a brony. We're yiffing every day. Yiffing is a furry thing. That's right. Yiffing is what furries do. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I should be on the Rob Taylor report one of these times? Do you guys think that Rob Taylor and I should do a battle of the shows? Actually, I really do like Rob Taylor though. He's a pretty interesting fella. I've been seeing some of his stuff like whenever I can on YouTube. I like to hear his opinions on things. I think he's a fascinating guy. But yeah, I guess Sal really hates Rob Taylor. So that just makes me love Rob Taylor even more. Basically anything that Sal hates, I love with a passion at this point. So, yeah, well, not anything. There's certain things I'm still not going to love, but like when I saw Sal go after Rob Taylor, I was like, dude, not Rob Taylor. Was it Rob Taylor? The Rob Taylor report. Yeah. The Rob Taylor report. It was ridiculous, man. Yeah, PP9619 says yes. I think that'd be great, dude. I think it'd be fun to do like a virtual interview or something like that, where I just go on Rob's show or something like that and kind of explain. I consider myself kind of the menace of Coos County a little bit. And when I say menace of Coos County, I don't mean that I like to do terrible things or anything like that. I will say that the reason I call myself the menace of Coos County is because I'm a little chaotic. I consider, if you use D&D terms, Dungeons and Dragons terms, you could probably consider me a form of chaotic good, right? So, and the reason I consider myself chaotic good is because I don't really care about the laws or anything like that, but I do care about doing the right thing. But the thing is, I live by my own ethical code. I live by my own thoughts. I'm kind of chaotic. So at the end of the day, I do want to do good. I do like to cause a little bit of chaos and a little bit of ruckus, especially in the land of Facebook. It is kind of fun. It is a little bit I do get a little bit of enjoyment, just kind of, what's the term? Fawning the flames. I'll admit it. I admit it. I have a little bit of fun fawning the flames. Who doesn't? But yeah, I think it's fun. But no, I love what dudes like TJ are doing. Like, the one thing I like about TJ is I consider TJ a true interviewer. Like, his interview style, I love it. I eat it up. And Tiny Lion Gaming, what up, my brony? Brody. But no, I do like his interview style. It's very fascinating to me. And I've learned a lot about interviewing just by watching him. I feel like I've gotten a better temperament in how I interview because I'm still not perfect. I still think I kind of suck at it. I've never been a great interviewer. It's still something I got to polish, but he is so good. TJ is extremely good at interviewing, and it shouldn't. I don't know. Mr. TJ says we will both be on Sal's page tomorrow, guaranteed. Oh, without a doubt, dude. I have zero doubt in my mind that will be on Sal's page. Zero doubt. Like, zero. We're always on his page. Tiny Lion Gaming says Garza is the billow in the political social turmoil. I just watched Obsession. Great movie, scared me, and I'm glad to be. Let's see. Hezekiah says his name is Rob Taylor. Yep, Mr. Rob Taylor. Rob Taylor report, man. I love Rob, and the fact that Sal doesn't like him makes me love Rob. I already love Rob because I like the fact that he's got his own platform, his own voice, his own opinions. Like, he doesn't let anybody bully him, which is one of the reasons I like Rob. Hezekiah says Sal is too busy milking a bull. That's funny. But yeah, no, yeah, Sal's ridiculous, man. He's just one of those guys, dude. I don't want to censor him because I don't believe in censoring anybody. I just think that I'm happy that people are exposing Sal for the person he is. That makes me extremely happy to see Sal get exposed for who he is. Let me see if I can take a look at something real quick. This may take a moment. I'm going to see if Sal's posted anything. Let's see here. Sal, my boy. Oh, see, Coos Bay area. Let me see if I can. This may take a second, you guys. We're going to see if Sal's already. Yeah, I bet you Sal. I mean, who knows? Maybe Sal's already clipped something. But Sal is always clipping something. He's clipping things out of context majority of the time, which is even funnier. But this guy is such a chud. Not a chud, he's a chode. I'm a chud, he's a chode. But yeah, no, there are times where he's just so frustrating. I mean, chances are, granted, the only thing I really talked about, which was crazy, is how, well, when I was talking to we'll react to a little bit more to TJ's shit. He has not. Let's see. No, I don't see anything. So real quick, we're gonna watch a replay of TJ's stream, and let's see the no Kangs.
Awesome. I'm about to head over.
Let's see. So there was a point where TJ and I were talking on a bench.
With a lot of videos, lady. You can't post. Here's me. Yeah. But who told you?
So there's a point where. Oh, here we go.
Right now, I see the way. I see the wrongs of my ways. I want to let you guys.
Hold on. You guys, I made a confession on here. I made a confession.
Yeah. Where are you gonna post this? See, you laugh. You laugh when you have no
Maggot, or was it?
He's your.
Okay.
Have a great day. It's good to see you out here. I'm glad you brought your big box of signs for everybody.
Man,
I
these
want to
people-
give Sal a lot of gotcha.
some of these people, man. And here, by the way, here are the gotcha moments that Sal probably wants. That Sal is going to, and I wanted to give Sal as many gotcha moments as I could, because of course Sal's gonna clip everything out of context. It doesn't matter what I say. Dude's just gonna clip it out of context, so it's like I don't care.
Moments.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna say, like, I'm a Democrat now. I love Bill Clinton.
I'm gonna hand you the microphone.
Yeah, I'm a Democrat now. I see the way. I see the wrongs of my ways. I want to let you guys know I'm sorry for ever being a maggot, or was it a bigot or something? And anyway, Joe Biden 2028, and hopefully Clinton maybe is a vice president as well. Biden, Clinton, but no Hillary. Hillary scares me.
Yeah.
But
Hillary Clinton does scare me though. I would laugh very hard if like Bill Clinton ran again. You know, honestly, at this point, I think America's screwed. So we might as well have Joe Biden and Bill Clinton fucking run again.
even though Bill Clinton's been on the
I just like it'd be crazy.
island, well, it looks like he's been on the island a few times. I want Bill Clinton as my vice president. Mic drop.
I want to smoke. You want to go over there to the picnic table and have a conversation real quick before I try and make my way back to these people? Oh, we mow it. Oh, we mow it. Oh, we mow it. Hey, will you hold this while I jump over this? Hold on. You're the last comment.
Hello, beautiful people. Hello. I've now commandeered the feed. There you go. You don't want me to commandeer the feed.
That's funny. That guy said I told him I was a Democrat. Did you hear that? He's like, you told me you were a Democrat. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Dude, there's like nobody here.
Dude, there's nobody.
Yeah, it was basically Boomerfest 2026 as usual. Like it's only old people with nothing better to do that go to this shit, and it's just like, and granted, good for them. You know, they're doing what they believe, and I just love making a mockery of it because nobody. Like I understand that a lot of people are pissed off with the Republican Party right now. Granted, but there's a lot of people as well who are pissed off at the Democratic Party. Both parties have kind of sucked balls. Tish says, hi, Michael. It's great to see you on here tonight. It's good to see you too, Tish. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, I just, it's crazy. Crazy.
That's kind of why
The Democrat movement's run by boomers, dude. Only boomers.
It's ran by boomers. That's all there is to it.
That's Greg's kid over there. What's up, Papa? But yeah, dude, she was one of the kids that came to my house. Really sweet child. Don't worry, this is facing me. I'm not filming your family. Yeah, I just like to let people know. Yeah. The Scottish scumbags here.
Oh, Scottish scumbag. What about corner shirt?
No, he didn't show up today. No.
No corner shirt cowboy, unfortunately.
You guys want to see the boats? Check it out.
Some good looking boats, by the way. I own them all.
Beautiful Bay of the Coos.
Looks can be deceiving. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's as bayest as the Coos can be. It says Coos as the bay can be. I don't know what's up, Paul. Yeah. I just wanted a picnic table.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I do want to say a few words to Sal. I won't go too crazy on it.
Yeah, dude, go ahead. Let's.
So this is my message to Sal. Are you guys ready for it? Are you guys prepared for my message to Sal? I'm announcing that we're getting married. So I'm just kidding. No, let's do this.
Let's.
All right. It'll be very PG, actually.
All right, here's that. Let's.
Oh, my water bottle. Did I bring that back with me? Okay, I did. For some reason, feel like I forgot my water bottle, but I saw it back there, so you're good.
Is that facing you?
I think it is.
Yeah, there you
Sal, my God, So like it was funny because like Sal keeps thinking that I'm doing all this crazy well, he did, and he realized I've got better shit to do than deal with you, dude. You like he's such a okay. So I'm just gonna say that Sal, you're a crazy person, and like you really are a crazy person. Like
What about Ama Elia?
Huh?
That Ama Elia that's always on his page?
Oh, Ama Elia, I'm pretty sure it's another Sal account. I'm pretty sure that like
no, that's a real person.
that's a
that
real.
I've seen,
Oh, thank you, appreciate it, man. Thank you. But no, but like it's one of those things. Like Sal, I mean, like, dude, I'm glad that people are calling him out though. I've been going on Facebook occasionally.
Yeah.
Facebook's too toxic for me. I don't go on there very often. But every now and then I'll take a peek, and I've been seeing people on the groups and stuff like that actually calling out Sal, and I'm like, thank God.
Dude, yes, I have noticed that too, finally.
Because he's a dude that just needs to be called out because, like, and dude, he thinks that everybody's trying to censor him. No, we're not. We're trying to just expose you so people realize what type of person they're getting their news and information from about Coos Bay area.
Dude, you know what's really funny to me is the fact that every single time he posts a clip of mine, which he will do after today, it gets people to go to my YouTube and watch my entire live stream.
Oh, absolutely.
And once you see that I upload everything without editing, you can't you
can't refute it.
Yeah, it's
you can't make up shit. You can't make up shit, and it's funny because the only thing that Sal relies on is out of context clips. But then,
this is the thing that pisses me off about Sal the most is he will take a clip, just a segment, something that'll make somebody out of context look like a bad person. It's pretty easy to do. But the thing about Sal is he never does a full context clip, and the reason that he never does is because the people he goes after usually are not doing anything wrong. Like, I would say 99% of the time, the people he goes after don't really do anything wrong or true. Even if they do say anything wrong, like, you got to read the context, bro. Context matters. And this is the problem that I've had with Sal the whole time. He's not a context guy. He doesn't give a shit about the truth. All he cares about is quick little gotcha moments, and they're usually fake gotcha moments because it ends up, if you look at the full context of the clips that he's doing these freaking things about, it's crazy. Let's see. Hezekiah says, "Don't touch my boats." ET says, "Is this a tomorrow's teachings episode?" It's gonna be. Basically, anytime I put a microphone in front of me, it's basically a tomorrow's teachings episode, essentially, and it's an unfortunate reality.
I heard about that one dude. There was like one dude who was actually like holding him accountable. I was like, no way. Like, he was posting links to your stream. I was like very impressed by that. I was like, okay, finally somebody's holding this douche, because everybody just takes everything this man says as gospel, and it's really weird because I with how hyperbolic he is, I don't know how anybody could trust anybody that hyperbolic who just freaks out at a whim about everything.
Right.
Anybody who has even slightly right of politics to Jane Fonda, for God's sakes, is his enemy.
Right.
And that's true. I mean, anybody he doesn't agree with, he sees as an enemy. And I think that's just an unhealthy way to live life. Like, funny thing is, I don't see Sal as an enemy. I don't see anybody who disagrees with me as an enemy. But if you're going to start actually seeing me as an enemy for disagreement, then I have no other choice but to be like, okay, you're clearly wanting to see me hurt. If you see me as the enemy, you see me as the enemy. And that's just sad because it's like, funny thing is, I never saw Sal as the enemy. I just saw Sal as kind of just really a disingenuous person. And by the way, hold on. Ooh, it's poo-poo time. Hold on. Gotta go potty. LOL. Hold on. Oh boy. If I don't go to the bathroom like right now, I'm gonna crap myself. But I gotta do something real quick. Hold on. Oop. Okay. Okay, gotta go to the bathroom. BRB. Have a good night, Mr. TJ. Have a good night, my man. We're gonna rack the rest of here. All right. ET really wants me to. ET, I'm not doing that, bro. I ain't doing that. Let me eat. Just keep watching.
The dude just, he thinks that everybody's out to get. It's a level of paranoia that like blows my mind. It blows my mind. His level of paranoia. And Sal, if you ever, by the way, Sal, you're probably watching this now, or you're going to watch this later. How about do full clips? Give context. Don't give those 30-second bullshit bites, which I understand people's attention spans are probably no more than 30 seconds if they're always on Facebook or TikTok or anything. But
at least post the link to my whole stream so people can judge for themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Instead of feeding on people's naivety.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's what Sal does. And anybody who subscribes to his little Coos Bay area page, they are the lowest common denominator. They are the uneducated. Let's keep going.
You're taking advantage of people. Well, that's the way I look at it.
Well, the problem is, and that's the thing. There's always going to be naive people who follow guys like Sal because he believes in the problem is that he believes in the same politics that they believe in.
So they don't need.
So they don't.
Else.
And besides, the left is very pro pedo. So it's like either way, no matter what kind of person Sal is, they're going to follow him anyway, and they're not going to give a shit.
Mm-hmm. And that's very true. That's true. It's crazy. But yeah, Sal needs to be called out. Sal should absolutely be called out. Without a doubt, dude.
Right.
So, and that's why I don't try to convince them otherwise. I just honestly think it's hilarious that people are calling out Sal. I don't have to do anything. Everybody else is doing the dirty work for me. I don't have to call them out.
I've noticed. I've been noticing that too.
I'm very happy about it, man. And there's like, it's great because this area, it sucks that the page for Coos Bay area happens to, the most popular one, at least so far, at least one of the more popular ones,
is hijacked.
Is ran by a guy who makes it an overly political page, who's so obsessed with his one-sided view of politics that he doesn't really cover anything that happens in Coos Bay, Oregon to begin with. He does cover some things. I'll give him props on that. I'll give him credit where credit's due. But overall, it's basically his own personal political page, and I wish he would just call it, like, I don't know, maybe rename it to Coos Bay Politics.
Yeah, it should be renamed to that. Absolutely. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to rename a few pages that I got.
That would be reasonable. I would actually accept that because it's a political
instead of acting
page.
Like it's like the tourist go-to page.
Yeah. And instead of calling it Coos Bay area, and anybody who goes on there probably looks at it and is like, yeah,
this is definitely not going to bring people to our area.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Maybe Sal's doing a good thing because I want people. I don't really want more people coming to Coos Bay, to be honest.
Look at how busy 101 is right now, right behind you, and all these people, they may just be traveling through, but every Saturday when these people are down here, they take up every single parking spot. So every single business along here suffers at the busiest time of the week, which is a Saturday at lunch.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why they do it. I mean, that's why they do it, because they know that. It's because a lot of these people, and I'm not gonna lie, I just feel like they're just so politically obsessed, and it's like, like, I understand being interested in politics, that's fine, but like to some point it becomes some of these people's identities. Like, with you have a very
it's happened to me.
Well, you have a very healthy balance. That's what I was about ready to just talk about. I mean, you're into politics, you got into it, but you're not. It's not like.
I'm a political page or a political guy.
You're just honestly, you're more of an interviewer commentator more than anything, and that's okay. And you don't get to, what I love about you, man, is you don't get hyperbolic like Sal. Sal gets really hyperbolic about everything, and you just.
It is true. He does. And Sal gets so crazy, dude. That guy is insane. It's insane. The dude's just he misrepresents Coos Bay in so many ways. He does. He makes mountains out of molehills with everything. It's so fucking annoying, dude.
Say your truth. You say what you believe. You interview people. A lot of people get mad at you because you don't share their same weird worldview.
Right.
And like, and they act like you're trying to like, I don't know. It feels like they act like you're trying to censor them. Even Sal acts like everybody who opposes him in any way ideologically. It's the weirdest fucking phenomenon, dude. I try to understand it. Like, I really do. I try to understand it, but it's just like, he's just one of those guys that I have such a hard time feeling bad for him. Like, I try to have some form of empathy, even for people I think are, I'm going to say the R word, just say R word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's just kind of a moron. But I feel bad. Sometimes I do feel bad for him because I'm like, dude, he's so caught up in his own personal ideology that he just thinks that everybody's out to get him. And honestly, in all actuality, it seems like he's always out to get everybody.
Right.
And that's the irony he's projecting.
I'm the anti-Sal. Well, yeah, it's because like I don't go crazy when people disagree with me. I mean, I get a little heated, don't get me wrong, but like Sal gets to certain extremes that I'm just like, dude, what's your problem, bro? Calm the F down, brother.
Obviously, he's projecting. Nobody's out to get him. He's out to get everybody.
Right.
You know, that's just how he works.
I'll never claim to be a victim because I'm not. You know, I put myself into. I got this, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
But I get. I can. You know. Sure. Like there are bad things that happen to me or whatever, but I'm not a victim. I don't claim to be a victim. I put myself into situations where I know that confrontations could happen, and when they happen, I'm not like, oh, they fucking hate me. Well, kinda. I do kinda, but like from for like most understanding or whatever, I so I said that to preface this. When somebody goes online, like Facebook, like Sal or this Ama Elia or any of those people, they will say that I'm this instigator and blah, 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 and I'm terrible and pedo and Nazi and fucking that fucking lady down there saying I make pornography. Like,
that was ridiculous, dude.
That was fucking stupid. Like, but anyway, so
I think she considers this X-rated material what I'm doing, which is honestly.
Well, and that's what I was thinking, because to me, the way that she said it was, I think that she thinks that he makes like that his YouTube. I'm assuming that she's being a pearl clutcher and is essentially saying that his YouTube channel is smut. That might have been an insult that she was trying to do. I don't know. That's my take on it, but whatever. You know, it's whatever. It's crazy though.
It's like, I don't understand that. Anyway, keep going. Sorry about that.
But anyway, so when you if anybody like sees his clips and then actually goes and looks at my stuff and my videos, it makes them look like a bully. And they look bad, even though they think they're making me look bad.
Oh yeah.
You know, like with any context, I look like honey.
Oh,
you know? But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
I wish, you know, the one thing I just wish was just like all these, you know, Sal is just one of many people like him. Sadly, there's a lot of people who are like Sal, unfortunately. Maybe not to the certain extreme that he is at, and we all know what certain extreme I'm talking about. But like, there are some people who just, I feel like I've been more violently accosted by the left. You know, I've seen leftists go to like little Trump rallies and stuff like that to try to, you know, they just call them stupid, basically. That's all the Republicans do. They're just like, you're dumb, go away. That's it. They don't like go crazy. They don't like try to like run you out of town or anything. These these people are they're like a pack of, some of these people like packs of vile wolves.
Yeah, they'll push you into moving traffic. Yeah,
oh, dude, I saw that.
It happened.
When I saw that, dude, I was like, I just was like, you know what?
I haven't seen that lady back since then, but I know who she is now.
The problem is these people, and I'm not saying everybody here is going to do that to you, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them wouldn't care if they saw you get hit by traffic after somebody pushes you out. They probably
they'd
wouldn't.
Laugh.
Yeah,
they'd pull up their cameras and they'd film it.
So in a lot of ways, they're
what's up, buddy?
Hey, did he say Garza?
I think he said, "Hey guys," but he might have said Garza.
I thought you said Garza. I was like, oh, maybe I know that person.
He might have.
Maybe there's a fan of the show, dude. No, maybe he said guys though. I could have sworn he said Garza, but then again, my hearing kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
But
well, we got this awesome AI music going too.
Oh, dude, yeah. So speaking of that, I love how they just use like nothing but AI music for this BS. Like, I like AI, don't get me wrong, but like, it's just like, I don't know. Music's not hard to make. I know I'm being a little bit snobbish, but just get a guitar, get an acoustic electric guitar, and just start singing. Know a few chords, and you're good. Like, really. Like,
I mean, isn't it 3 chords? You can make like 90% of all songs.
Yeah. There's like 3 core chords. I'm not exactly a music theory.
This is great though, man. I'm having fun with this. I'm just kind of letting myself talk on on this one. But really, what I'm trying to say, if we're gonna just to let you know, what I'm trying to say in this particular video is, I'm kind of going off on just tangents. I'll admit, there's really no rhyme or reason or organization to what we were doing on this one. But yeah, this is fun. I just had a blast, dude.
Expert, but yeah, there's like 3 chords I think you can use primarily to make most pop songs. Yeah, you can make pop songs pretty easily if you have a good understanding of fundamental chords. Hell, I need to start making music with my Yamaha keyboard, to be honest, because
everything's written in a studio by writers now. It's not even and just passed out to whoever is going to sing it.
Actually, no, it's something I started doing because I was using AI to make backgrounds and stuff for my YouTube thumbnails. I was like, I want something more real. So I've been going around town, going into like buildings, going into nature and stuff, wherever I could find woods, and just taking really good photos because my Pixel 8 Pro camera is insanely good.
Right.
So I was thinking to myself, why don't I just start taking fucking pictures of like, inside of buildings and stuff like that? Because it's like worst case scenario, they're just going to probably think I'm weird. Second case scenario, they're going to like be like, get out of here. We don't do this for commercial purposes. But like, yeah, I could go into like any nice looking business and be like, hey, I was going to take a couple pictures because I want to show my friend what this place looks like or something.
Right.
Or whatever. I don't know. I just like having cool backgrounds. And what I do is I find like, I don't have any people in the backgrounds though, obviously, because I respect people's privacy. But like, I'll go into commercial businesses and stuff gladly. I went into like Rife's home furniture. No shame was taking like really good photos of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, because I like having backgrounds for my YouTube thumbnail.
Oh yeah. And I was thinking about going into some restaurants that weren't too busy at the moment and just like, maybe taking a few pictures of just like the inside of the restaurant, just so that way like I can have different background themes for my thumbnails for my long form videos. It would just beat the hell out of, I would rather have like natural real backgrounds than have to rely on like these AI generated backgrounds, you know what I mean? Because I think it's good to have a variety of backgrounds in your thumbnail, especially when it's organic. So I'm trying to go for a more organic feel with a lot of these, and then I kind of just inject myself in the thumbnail and stuff like that. So all my thumbnails are done custom done. So I'm trying to kind of veer away from using AI to make my thumbnails and try to veer on using actual resources that I have available, like my camera and taking really good photos of various places around town, whether it's nature, because there's a lot of nature around here. Like you have like an unlimited supply of really cool nature photos that you could take. So
and stuff, and I put myself in the thumbnails. I custom make all my thumbnails on using this program called Photopia, which or Photopea, I think is what it's
approved username says you like AI Garza, would never guess. Tish says, Garza, you could be the new Johnny on the streets, like on Jesse Waters. You're great at mingling with the people. I try, man. I have fun. I really do. I enjoy talking. I just enjoy, I don't know. I just enjoy speaking my mind, I guess you could say, but I really do enjoy taking photos though. I think it's great. One thing I do need to start doing, I should take a few pictures at the beach there's a lot. There's so many beautiful areas of the beach that could be used as beautiful backgrounds. So I do. Next time I'm at the beach, I do need to take a few photos, um, as many as I can. Plenty of things that I could take photos of.
It's technically called. So if you guys ever get bored, you want a free Photoshop alternative, it's called PhotoP. Photo and then PEA.com. It's a great website. It's all web-based, and you could make basically really good graphics straight up. It's Photoshop quality. It's insane. It's all free.
Yeah, and what's wild about Photopea, it basically is about as close to a Photoshop clone as you're going to get for free. I will say the other alternative would be like Affinity Photo. You can get like a lifetime license for Affinity Photo for like $70. It's crazy. I was actually thinking about getting a license for Affinity Photo just because I hear a lot of good things about it. Because it's also probably the next best thing to Photoshop that you could probably get. And then there's also like Coral Paint Shop Pro. There's a few others. Paint.net's pretty all right. I'm not a big fan of Paint.net though. It's okay for certain graphics. It's okay for touching up certain things, but Paint.net's kind of eh. But definitely Photopea, amazing. Like I use it for every single thumbnail that I do because one, you can make really good looking text. Very easy to do templates with it. Just the whole thing is just beautiful. I'm a huge fan of Photopea, and I did basically, if Photopea ever goes away for whatever reason, I'm just gonna pony up the money for a lifetime license to get Affinity Photo so I can constantly make really good thumbnails for my show. Oh.
One thing about taking photos inside of businesses and stuff like that, you can add them to Google as like a Google reviewer, and you can eventually get.
Ooh, this was something I was meaning to ask ChatGPT about. This is actually something that I would do in my spare time because it would be fun. Like I would have a blast doing this, and I think that'd be great. So we're gonna pull up some ChatGPT real quick. Let's allow it real fast. What's up, Mr. GPT? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. What's on your mind tonight?
So I have a quick question, mainly about, so what I'm trying to figure out is something kind of simple. It's nothing too complicated, but I'm trying to understand, like, my buddy TJ was telling me that I could take photos of businesses and like get paid to do reviews and take photos of different businesses. Is that true?
Let me check on that. All right, there's a couple different things that this could be. So Google Maps local guides lets you upload pictures and reviews, but it doesn't pay. It just gives you points and badges. But there are apps like Field Agent, Observa, and Gigwalk. They do pay small amounts for photos. Yeah, store checks, audits, and things like that. It's not big money, but it's legit.
How much would one get paid usually, if you don't mind me asking? So like, let's say there was a company that wanted me to take photos inside a store. How much would they usually pay on some of those apps?
Let me check. Typically, for a simple photo task inside a store, it might land in the $3 to $8 range. A bigger audit with multiple photos and questions could be more like $10 to $25. Occasionally, there's higher paying ones, up to around $50 or even $100, but those are much less common.
Yeah, so they would
since
they mainly just want me to take photos and call it a day?
One moment. Some gigs are and just that. Show up, take clear photos, upload them, you're done. Other times there's a short checklist like confirm a price, is this product in stock, or answer a few quick questions. So it's mostly just documentation, nothing salesy.
Okay. So what can you let me know what the can you let me know the name of those apps again that you were mentioning?
Sure. Field Agent. Yeah, there's Field Agent, Observa, Gigwalk, and Mobi.
Which would be the best for Coos County? Which would be the best for the Coos County area?
Checking. For Coos County, I'd start with Field Agent since they have one of the largest client bases. But it can be a little slow on work. If you're looking for other options, Gigwalk and Observa are decent backups. Since you're out driving anyway, it might be worthwhile to just have all of them and check whichever has work that day.
Well, I'm looking at Field Agent right now, and it says the description is make money while you shop with field agent. Does that mean like, so it says complete a variety of tasks, audits, surveys? Interesting. And then make
Yeah,
your own
it's
cash. It's kind of cool.
yeah, it's pretty much what we've been talking about. Those are the types of small gigs that you'll get. Since you tend to drive around a lot and are out and about, it could be a good way to earn a few bucks while you're out driving. If you're curious, I can suggest some of the highest paying options for this kind of work as well.
So, quick question about field agent. Would you say that it's a pretty trustworthy? Because I found it's Field Agent by Field Agent Inc. Is that the one that you're talking about?
Let me double check. Yeah, that's the one. It's a legitimate platform that's been around for a while and is used by major brands. Just don't expect a ton of jobs every day. But yeah, it's trustworthy. I just wouldn't count on it as a main source of income. More like a little side cash when there's something nearby.
Oh, that'd be fun. I mean, that's the thing. I do like making money where I can. I'm very 1099 based. So, whether it's doing YouTube, whether it's doing delivery driving and stuff like that, which I enjoy all of those things. Yeah, give me a second though. I'm actually interested in this, man, because that's what my boy TJ was kind of talking about. I think at least that was along the line of what he was talking about. It just sounds really appealing to me because I have, like I said, I have a great camera on my phone. It's an unbelievably great camera, and
Yeah.
it's just awesome.
Pixel 8 Pro. Nice. Well, if you're already driving around knocking out deliveries and a $12 store audit pops up 2 minutes off your route, that can stack pretty well. If you want, tell me what a typical delivery day looks like area-wise, and I can suggest a simple way to check for gigs without slowing you down.
Oh, it's
No
okay.
pressure
I
at
would
all.
I would just kind of do it as a side thing. I wouldn't do it like I don't know. The way I look at it is, it's like I'll figure it out. But are you able to look up and see if people have used Field Agent in Coos County?
Checking. I looked into it and I didn't see people specifically talking about Coos County, but given the population there, my guess is that there'd be fewer jobs, but not zero. I'd expect occasional audits at bigger retailers in Coos Bay and North Bend. Honestly, the best way to find out is to install it and peek for a week. Sock it to me if, actually, give it a shot. If it's quiet, add GigWalk and Observa to widen the net. Seems like a low-risk experiment for a fellow 1099 hustler.
I do love the 1099 life, man. That's just how I live my life, and that's how I do it, man. See here.
Yeah, making it work in your own way.
Oh yeah, and let's see. Oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, I see 7 ticket jobs. Oh, this might be for all of US. Is this all of US? Hold on. This job. You may qualify for a paid job now, or completion of ticket jobs. Shelf and display capture program. Let's see. Oh wow. Like there's one that's like shelf view, kids oral care, mouthwash, dental care. That's crazy. There's like one for the Walmart Super Center. And then there's like ratings and reviews, soft air freshener, room spray. Da, da, da. I will say, let me explore a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, so there are things that I would have to answer. It looks like would I have to answer tickets? It looks like, I think. I don't know.
Let me check.
It's kind of
Yep,
cool.
that's normal. Yeah, those tickets are just little tasks with questions that you need to answer. Like you might confirm if a shelf is stocked, or take a photo, or answer a quick yes/no. Just open one up and read through it. Super doable once you've seen a couple examples. And hey, since you like this kind of work and have the camera for it, and it might be a good fit, just stay picky about the gigs you choose.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be fun to go around and, hell, take a photo like that. That's awesome, man. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chat GPT. I'll let you go.
Sounds good. Take
Oh.
care.
Well, actually, hold on. Before you go, actually, so you said Field Agent. What were those other two apps? Because I got the memory of a goldfish right now.
Sure thing. Field Agent, Gigwalk, and Observa. And if you
Gigwalk.
want a fourth, Moby.
Gigwalk. Let me look up Gigwalk real quick. Gigwalk. Is there anything that like lets me just like take photos and then get paid of like things in different areas besides those?
Checking. Yeah,
Because I just
there
want to
are.
take photos of shit.
Totally fair. Most of them want at least a tiny bit of info with the photo. But the closest to just photos are apps like Observa and sometimes Field Agent or Gigwalk, where it's mostly just photo documentation and a couple of quick taps. There's also Proxy Pics, which is more about taking photos of properties.
Mm-hmm.
The questions are usually pretty minimal, though. Think documenting what you see, not filling out a survey. I
Yeah.
really think you'll enjoy it.
I do like Observa seems pretty dope. So Observa earn money from gigs, and it looks like the company that made it is Observa. Is that right?
Let me double check. Yep, that's the legitimate one. Honestly, sounds like it's up your alley. I'd say install it alongside Field Agent and see which one has better local gigs.
That sounds
And
great
pro
to me,
tip,
man. I
once
think a lot of people probably aren't really doing this stuff. And I got a good car. And sometimes it's just like it's I don't know, it just seems like a fun thing, a little fun gig.
Yeah, and if it fits around what you're already doing, why not? It's kind of low overhead, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Anyway, let's keep watching this real quick. Sorry, actually, hold on. But no, I'll have to ask you more questions about this stuff, man. When I can, I'm gonna probably sign up for this in just a second.
Yeah, sounds good. Just let me know.
All right, catch you later, bro.
Get paid.
Oh, really?
Someone that reviews businesses. Like you can go through Google Maps, find every business in town, and like leave a review. To
Really?
them.
You can get paid for
You
that?
can get paid for that. There's like a reviewers program. You'll have to look.
I'm gonna
more
have.
into it.
You know what I'll do?
It's intense though. Like there's people that just fucking that's all they do every day.
Well,
make a few bucks.
Since I've been making a lot more passive income and stuff like that, and a lot of my income's passive, I have a little more time on my hands. So, I mean, I still have to do like part-time stuff here and there, but like I a lot of my work is. I will say that YouTube has been paying me pretty. I wouldn't say like super duper well, but good enough to where like I don't have to always, do certain jobs and stuff like that. I don't like to tell the world what I do outside of my YouTube channel, so
Right.
I always keep it very vague. But yeah, no, I just I don't know. It's cool that you're down here, man. When I saw that you were live, I was like, oh crap, dude. Oh crap.
My first one since June.
Oh yeah, dude. It's been a while since you've actually been down here. It's been a while since I've been down here, to be quite honest.
I mean, the last one was the same time as that Pride in the Park, so I went to Pride in the Park instead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. Of course,
That's why I missed that last one, but I'm about done with this cigarette.
I'm
I'll have that. I'll
So
let you finish it up for you.
I was inspired by what TJ was saying about that I could take photos and stuff. So Field Agent, just registered for that. I'm registering for Observa because, dude, I just love having streams of income, dude. I'm obsessed. I'm one of those guys that like I'm a task-oriented creature. So I have multiple streams of income just because, I'm just a very productive person. Let me check my Gmail. Let me check it. There we go. I think that's also my PayPal email. Hold on. Is this my PayPal email? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Okay, I just want to make sure my email is right. Yeah, Observa looks really cool, actually. And it would be great, like, if I find that I'm out of town maybe I'm like hanging out in Eugene or something like that with my brother. Make a little bit of extra dough on the side, dude. Hell yeah. Just activating my account real quick here. Wow, let's see. That's kind of dope, man. It doesn't look like there's a ton of opportunities in this area with Observa. At least not that I see. New bonus running through the end of the campaign, earn extra dollars after completing 10 visits. Totally no employee conversation or merchandising required. Take photos of 10 different categories throughout the store. Quality images and attention to detail matters. I mean, it depends on what they pay. If you $20 for being in there for 40 minutes, that's awesome, dude. I would love to do this for a living. I would, like, no joke, I would love to take photos with my phone for a living. Like, that would be freaking phenomenal. Like, I would rather do that than be on social media. Like, I would rather do that than be scrolling on Facebook. That's amazing.
I'll keep it off the camera and stuff like that. I know they.
Yeah. Trumper King, nice boats. Yeah, there's.
Oh, dude, there's some good boats down here, man.
Here, while he finishes that cigarette, I will show you guys the boats. And just.
Thank you for. I need a little bit of nicotine anyway.
Yeah.
To be honest, so I'm just going to give you a heads up that in this bottle that I have here is a certain type of mixture, and we all know what I'm talking about. It's a Coke, and you know.
Oh yeah, nice.
I don't want to say it on streams.
It was a Coca-Cola in another type of drink mixed, you know. It was like one of those types of drinks, you know. So, you know, it's yeah. Now I'm checking out Observa real quick, and really interesting so far. I'm looking at some of the locations presented on here. Give me a second, though, you guys. Give me a second. Oh, this is at Safeway. Okay, this is kind of cool. So I could actually do an audit of Safeway if I wanted to. I could do an audit of. So that one's so is that the Safeway? Yeah, there's not a like. I'll admit, just looking at this, there's not a shit ton of opportunities here. Safeway is one of them. There's the Safeway that's in Roseburg though. Shit, never mind. Yeah, as far as like the Coos Bay area is concerned for Observa, it's very tiny. But I will admit that Field Agent probably would get me photo challenge summer fun 15 days. Send us a photo of some summer fun. Happy August for this month. The theme is summer during summertime, blah blah blah. It's kind of cool. Like $20. But yeah, so like the closest opportunity that I have is like basically under a mile away because I live pretty close to the Safeway. But yeah, everything else is like 45 miles, 66 miles, 77 miles, stuff like that. And yeah, it was great though. It's great. No, I love doing 1099 work though, dude. I'm just one of those guys. I don't like to trade my time for money. I like to trade my effort for money, you know? And then, you know, when I actually get that money, then I just actually invest it in what I like to consider money. I consider assets the real money. I consider cash to be, well, valueless. It's not worth less. It's not worthless, but it is worth less.
I don't know if YouTube would get you in trouble or anything. But...
I got 4 new kittens yesterday.
Oh shit! I saw like a little I got a notification about that. You got like little farm kittens and stuff.
Yeah, they're little black and whites.
They were born yesterday?
No. That we got them yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
We got them yesterday. Their mom was feral, so like we had to take them a little early, but they're already eating hard food and drinking water.
That's pretty cool, man. I dig that. I'm tempted to make $20 tonight.
Water, and you know they're all...
Also, another thing about the Observa app is it was saying on there. I'm gonna have to look up how to do really well on Field Agent and Observa. I'll probably end up doing a lot of Field Agent work because that would be pretty fun.
Ready, not nursing anymore. So
okay, but they already done nursing and stuff.
Yeah, they're done nursing. Yeah. Yeah. Blue Nose Pity, Trump for King. Hell yeah.
Hey, Blue Nose Pity goes on mine all the time.
Does he?
Actually, it's funny because I direct
Shout out to Blue Nose Pity, by the way.
a
Dude.
lot of people towards yours. A lot of my fan
Nice
bases.
bear on the shirt. Thank you. It's actually a Coos Bay, Oregon shirt. It says Coos Bay, Oregon on it. All right. Well, let's go see what the weirdos got.
So I want to show you guys what happened. So TJ got in a bit of a confrontation with so there was somebody who like stole stuff from his property, and totally awful, by the way. We'll see here them here in a second. It's insane. He realizes he sees him pulling up here. This is crazy. So like, mind you, this lady like was looking after his place and ended up stealing some crap. So that just pisses me off so much, man. I hate it when stuff like that happens. It is possible though, and I want to see what I would need to do to get more, because I want to take a lot of photos. Like doing photo stuff just seems really fun. What I'm curious about is how do I get, so my ops. I mean, this really does look pretty fun, in all honesty. Now. I'm gonna kind of check out Field Agent real quick, because I think ChatGPT I think was right on this one. That you're like, look at this. This is crazy. So like, there's a shelf view one that I could do. Dude, no joke. Like I could do one for Safeway, where literally I'm just doing a shelf view, bottled water, non-refrigerated, bottled in cans, coffee, Walmart shopping center. Like straight up, this is so cool. Complete these jobs and earn tickets for monthly drawings. Let's see. Complete these jobs and earn tickets for monthly drawings. Okay. So it's like, so these are anywhere jobs, complete wherever you're at. Okay. So one of them's to review. The other is, well, there's one for Subway. A free sub sandwich? What? Sick. This is kind of cool though, because like I could go do like, basically go to these few places, get paid like $3. Now the question is it worth the gas? That's the biggest question of all. Is it worth the gas? Like if I was riding my bike around town, sure, that'd be fun. It looks like Field Agent though, you're not going to get a ton of work in this area, unfortunately. I would love to do a bunch of stuff in this area with Field Agent, but
Hey, check this out.
well, I will say though, that was fun to react. We gotta watch this real quick.
Here's that guy that owes me money. Hey! How are you? Good. Hey, do you guys got that money you guys owe me? Yeah?
Yeah.
You know you're on the internet right now.
Yeah, I am. Fuck you.
Fuck you, gals. It's a good statement. Oh my god.
You guys are the ones that run me.
Man. Don't fucking hassle me. What do you mean, you guys? I don't know you.
Well,
shit,
your wife
motherfucker.
did. Your wife did. She robbed me.
I didn't rob you.
Well, you didn't leave me the money.
Plug your fucking cameras, okay? So I don't know where you're going with that. Yeah, look at me. Ha ha ha. Look at this fucking freak. Brian, just go. Get away from me. Go.
Dude, she stole shit from TJ, dude. Come on.
Oh.
Like, dude. These people are terrible, dude. These people are terrible. They don't like getting called out on their shit.
I'll break the fuck out of here.
That's assault. I'm not violating you. I was just walking by because I was on my way downtown.
Get downtown. Don't stop here.
All right. I'm going, but you gotta tell them not to assault me either.
Yeah, dude, she, first off, you guys don't know the situation, but she basically straight up, like, she unplugged his security cameras when she was watching the place for him, and then she stole some crap. So it was like, dude, ridiculous.
Okay, can you still
It's freaking, when TJ told me about it, dude, I got pissed. I was like, dude, what? She is a scumbag, dude.
hear me? Yeah? Okay, cool. It says there's 0 viewers. Those are the people that were watching my house while I was gone on vacation. And they killed my cat and they stole from me. That's Sheila. I don't remember her last name, Peabody or something. And then her husband, Brian, over there.
That just makes me so mad, dude. Just because he's a good dude. TJ's a good man. Larson Christopher says old guy is Annie Wood Ninja Kicker. Yeah. Annie Wood, dude. It's Annie's MO. That's crazy, though. Flipping wild, man. Flipping wild. Cray cray.
Those people.
I may have to go to the bathroom again. But I do need some water. Oh, sweet little. Oh, sweet little. Oh, he's such a small kitty cat. Oh my God. So this is a sweet cat, by the way, little Elvis. He's a tiny guy, very tiny cat. Just because he was born with it's like cerebral plasia or something like that, where he has a trouble balancing. He's a very sweet cat, though. I love this cat so much. Just amazing. So the art of doing less and achieving more, I believe that wholeheartedly. I'm not saying be lazy. I'm just saying don't fill your plate too high. People fill their plate up too high, and that's the problem. It gets too crazy, man. It gets too crazy. Okay, I do have to use the bathroom real quick. I will BRB, and we'll probably react to a couple videos and then call it a night. All right. Tasty, tasty. Borrow. Okay. I'm trying to see what we should react to here. What would be good? What would be sexy? All right, let's take a look here. We got Annie, we got ET still in the house, we got Larson Christopher. Love you, bro. Good man. Oh, Alex Stein to the rescue. Let's see.
And they're trying to say that this mask is in a... Sorry, my husband, he's going to get so mad if I'm speaking in my human voice. He's going to make me sit in the kennel all week. But they're trying to say that this mask is inappropriate for students. I'm trying to protect myself from COVID. I got 5 vaccines, but everybody knows a vaccine is not enough, all right? So I'm out here, I'm barking every day. And these students, I'm trying to bark at these students. I'm trying to teach them something. I want them to learn. I want them to know that we live in a world of inclusivity.
Alex Stein's the best, the greatest of all time. Straight up. Dude is the funniest man besides myself on YouTube. Besides me. Alex Stein's the funniest dude on YouTube. Hands down, bar none. Straight up, bro. Straight up.
And we need to be more inclusive. I'm a pimp on a blimp, but they try to look at me weird because I have this mask on. What's wrong with this mask? You know you like this mask. Everybody likes this mask. I'm in here trying to protect myself from COVID. And I'll be honest, it's not easy to breathe. Sometimes I have to open it up like this. And they're trying to say, oh, this
Pimp on a blimp, dude. Pimp on a blimp.
This is not good for spreading the virus. Let me tell you something. It's not about the virus. We have a mind virus. The city of Plano is not gay enough. And as a gay icon myself, we need to do more to make this city gayer and more inclusive.
Yes and yes. 100%.
And that's why I think we need to have sex education for children as young as 9. We need to have sex education for children 8 years old. We need sex education for birth. Like as soon as they come out, we need to show a fetus.
20 seconds.
This is how you were here. 20 seconds. Well, let me just say, Mayor Munz, I need my job back. I was fired for wearing this mask. And my boyfriend, Rodrigo, my future husband, my fiance, I'm sorry I used my human voice. Please, please don't make me sleep in the kennel tonight. I love you so much. And Anthony Riccadelli, you're the most handsome council member I've ever seen in my life. I love you guys. Thank you so much. See you guys on the other side.
Amazing. Freaking amazing. It's just Alex Stein's amazing, dude. I love him so much. The GOAT. The GOAT, dude. The freaking GOAT. Mm-mm-mm. We're not buying your crap anymore. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. Gabe uses interesting music. It might get me. I don't want to. Let's see. Yeah, Bitcoin sucks, dude. Yeah, let's watch a little grifter magic. I want to watch what's his name? Michael freaking Saylor. the greatest grifter of them all. Crazy. Yeah, well, buying Bitcoin's going to make you poor because it's a Ponzi scheme, you dunce. God dang it. Michael Saylor. That's why you invest in real assets, not fake phony baloney assets like Bitcoin. I want to look at a video that points out how much of a grifter he is. Let's look at Michael Saylor is a grifter. The Bitcoin scam started by Michael Saylor. Okay, Everything Money is actually talking about this, even though Everything Money is a stupid channel.
Michael Saylor is a scam artist. He's an idiot. He's a.
I mean, in all fairness, Everything Money is also a scam artist channel. You guys are scammers, but it's basically scammer calling another person a scammer. Well, let's watch.
Moron, and he should be.
I mean, Michael Saylor is in my opinion, a grifter and a scammer.
Arrested for financial manslaughter. By the way, for the record, he was almost arrested 25 years ago for lying to the SEC and investors. 25 years ago, Michael Saylor had a company, and that company had to restate its income, and he had lost $6 billion.
The new Mike O'Hearn shorts are awesome and funny. Oh, hell yeah. I'll have to take a look at that. Can you react to an officer? Nah, I don't feel like that. I just kind of want to react to whatever, and then I'm just going to end the stream here in a bit when I feel like it. I might even end the stream in a bit, but we'll see.
Day, because they lied about their income and revenue. Since 2000 until 2020, they basically stayed under the radar. He paid his fines, he moved on, and he basically meandered about. And then in 2020, Michael Saylor came out, and he became one of the biggest advocates in the world for Bitcoin.
Oh.
He said, and I quote, "I've scientifically studied everything in the world, and Bitcoin is the best hedge for inflation." This was in 2020. First off,
he studied everything in the world, and he came to the conclusion that Bitcoin is going to protect you from a decaying dollar. Bitcoin is seriously a string of data backed by nothing but honestly an outdated algorithm. Let's keep going.
Before I even get to the data, Bitcoin's history in 2020 was 11 years old. He was sitting there saying, and from 2009 to 2020, inflation was very tame. It was 2% a year, something like that. He wanted to sit there and say that he studied everything in the world and thousands of years, hundreds and hundreds of years of data and a bunch of stuff. But he found the one thing that 11 years later with very tame inflation was the thing that was the best hedge against inflation. Fast forward a couple of years, we finally hit inflation. Inflation skyrocketed in 2022. It was so high that they increased rates. So
it was so high because Joe Biden.
If it's a hedge, as inflation skyrockets, what should Bitcoin do? Skyrocket along with it. Because the whole point is, if inflation's hurting you, Bitcoin is helping you. That's what a hedge does. Just like real estate prices. As inflation reared its ugly head, we said in many videos, guys, based on inflation, we believe that real estate prices could still go up. And they did. Why? Because real estate is a hedge on inflation, against inflation. Let me show you what actually happened. And this will be jaw-dropping. This was inflation.
Okay.
And this purple right here was Bitcoin. This is not a hedge.
Yeah. So Bitcoin actually is... So, yeah, Bitcoin's worse for you. That makes sense.
This is not a hedge. You know what gold did? Gold did this. That's a hedge. What's this?
Because gold is actually valuable, whereas Bitcoin is not valuable at all. It is a string of data. You are literally saying, these Bitcoin bros always say that Bitcoin is the hedge against the dollar. No. It's stupidity. It's like they're hedging against reality. Like, sorry.
Blue line, you may ask. Glad you asked that. That's the NASDAQ. That is the tech-heavy NASDAQ. And guys, I hate to say it, Bitcoin is a tech play. It goes the way NASDAQ goes, actually even worse. Because in that year, the NASDAQ was down 36%, Bitcoin was down 66%. Since then, the NASDAQ has skyrocketed. What has Bitcoin done? Skyrocketed even more. That is not a hedge against inflation. The other thing is, inflation devalues the dollar. How do we price Bitcoin? In dollars.
I mean, that's true. We do price it in dollars, unfortunately. And I don't know. Either way, Bitcoin's intrinsically worthless, so it'll always eventually go down to zero. Do we know when it's going to go down to zero? No. But it is valueless. That's why, like, gold and silver, smart investments, man. Jack's Cab Confessions. What's up, my brony bro? Good to see you, man. Everybody give a shout out to my boy Jack's Cab Confessions. Hell yeah. Love you, partner. I'm eating some ramen real quick. Hold on. You know, little vegetables in me too. You know, ramen, little vegetables, the good stuff. Hey, thank you, Mr. Jack's Cab Confession. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
How can you possibly, when we start pricing dollars in Bitcoin, that's when I'll believe that Bitcoin is the current tender, the current way in which we use money. Michael Saylor is completely a moron. And guys, it'll probably get ugly if something bad happens at Bitcoin's price. Why? He is leveraged like crazy on Bitcoin.
Michael Saylor's a moron. If he was smart, Michael Saylor would bet against Bitcoin to some capacity, right? I don't know if he is or not. He may be. He may be, but if he was smart, he'd be betting against Bitcoin in some form or fashion.
What I mean by that is this. He's taking his company and he's absolutely said, I'm spending every dollar of free cash flow buying Bitcoin. He currently owns 3% of the world's Bitcoin. But the scary part is he borrowed money against it. Now, you borrow money.
He's an idiot. Saylor's an idiot.
To go buy your house. But your house doesn't fluctuate in price 20, 30, 40% a year. It goes up 3, 4, 5% a year consistently over time. Rarely does it really go down in price. So it's okay to borrow that money. But when you're borrowing money to buy a highly volatile asset, let me show you what happens. So guys, as an analogy, let's say every single year the bank came to you and said,
well, the problem is it's not even a real asset. The reason that the price is fluctuating is because there is no real value. It's just gambling. Everybody's just gambling. They're just wondering, like, they basically just pump it up and then they pump it down. It's just glorified gambling, man. Like, there's no real, like, it's not like a super amount of secrets here. Tim Smith says, is that Temu Gary V or the real Gary V? I can't tell. It's the same guy. It's the same guy. They're both grifters. The Everything Money guy's a grifter. Gary Vaynerchuk is unfortunately a huge grifter because of his love of NFTs and his stupid V-Friends thing. I can't even get into that right now of how stupid that is.
We're only going to give you the mortgage this year based on your current home value. Let's say it was every month. So if your home value went down in price, you have to give more money up. That's what's going on with Michael Saylor. Except it's in a very volatile asset like Bitcoin, not in your house, which stays consistent. That's what's scary. Guys, when you borrow money to buy an asset, as that asset value changes, that's what margin is. That's what caused the 1928 financial disaster where the stock market went down 86%. What he's doing is saying, okay, I'm going to...
Stock market going down 86% back in the day would have been a great investment. Could you imagine? Like, this is why I always say buy during crashes. It's not financial advice. It's just my personal take. This is what I tell myself, though. I'm like, dude, market crashes, I got to be buying. This is why I keep a little bit of loose cash on the side because I never know when a crash is going to happen. To be honest, though, to be fair, I only keep loose cash around to swing trade silver and stuff like that. That's pretty much my main shtick at this point. Basically holding a diversified set of assets and then just swing trading silver is my main shtick. Overall, you know.
I'm going to borrow $1 billion. I'm going to buy $1 billion in Bitcoin. Great. It's great when it's going up in value. You borrowed $1 billion. Let's say it goes to $2 billion. You just made $1 billion. Guys, what happens if it falls in half? All of a sudden, you're upside down $500 million.
Yep.
It's exaggerated even more.
Oh,
Yes, the gains are exaggerated, but do you want that from a company that's on the New York Stock Exchange to be sitting there saying it, on the NASDAQ, to be sitting there and borrowing money to buy a highly volatile asset? And what's that asset? What's that asset generating? Well, let me get to my next conversation.
Okay.
I look at Michael Saylor and say, okay, Michael, you're spending billions of dollars buying Bitcoin. If the market for Bitcoin goes away tomorrow, how are you going to make money off that? You can't.
Yeah.
They might sit there and say, well, Paul.
Well, it's basically a worthless asset. At the end of the day, it's worthless. It doesn't do anything. You know, admittedly, you could say the same about gold and silver. What if the gold and silver markets went away? That's okay. If they did, it would suck. But eventually there would be demand for those things because it has real world utility. So anything that has real world demand, like silver and gold, there's always going to be a market for it, right? So the fact of the matter is, the stocks that I own, even if the stock market was to close, the shares that I own of all these good companies, they would still find a way to pay me a dividend because I'm still an owner of these companies, whether the stock market is open or closed, you know? Anyway, let's keep going.
Paul, if the market for Microsoft goes away tomorrow, how do you make money? Well, I have a company that's still generating revenue, still growing its revenue, generating profit, still growing its profit.
And the thing is, Microsoft would just keep doing its thing. If the market's closed, like if the stock market closed for a year, all the companies that I own, I still own them. They're still going to do what they do, and they're still going to generate profit. And when the markets eventually open back up, I'll sell them if I choose to. Usually I don't. I just buy and hold. And the thing is, all my dividend stocks will still pay me dividends even if the market's closed because that's my ownership of the company. They'll still they'll still most likely pay dividends to their shareholders because that's what they've agreed upon, whether the market's open or closed. So the beauty is, I just invest in companies that I know are good. I know are good and I know are doing things that have good net asset value as well. I want to make sure I'm getting into something real. Bitcoin, the only thing real about it is it's just a string of data. And at the end of the day, that's all it really is. It's not money. It's stupidity. It's digital stupidity.
And can issue me checks for dividends. That's the difference. Bitcoin is doing none of that. Bitcoin is still priced in US dollars, and yet people think it's going to replace the US dollar.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Saylor is saying that it's changing the world. It might change the world, but for what regard?
All the Bitcoin bros say that Bitcoin's the future. It's going to change everything. The Bitcoin bros don't know jack, dude. Bitcoin bros don't know jack, dude. That's all there is to it.
It's clearly not a hedge on inflation. Based on 2022, the 1 year we had massive inflation, it went the exact opposite way. It followed the NASDAQ. And since then, inflation's been going down and the price has been going back up again. That's not a hedge. That is not a hedge. With a hedge, you want them going in tandem. That way, if you one asset's going to hurt you, you buy another asset that goes with it. That way it helps you. That's the idea. Now, guys, isn't it ironic that none of the world's best investors are sitting there and saying Bitcoin's awesome? Are they dinosaurs? Maybe. But the guy that we do have saying that Bitcoin's the best thing ever has...
Yeah, the person who's saying that Bitcoin is the best thing ever is a grifter and a Ponzi scheme artist.
Done what? Has been investigated by SEC, lost $6 billion in 1 day in market cap, was caught lying to the SEC during a hype time. Why is this any different? Is it not hyped right now?
Oh, and Michael Saylor, man, biggest grifter, in my opinion. In my opinion, the biggest grifter of all time. Anybody who promotes Bitcoin is a grifter. Jeremy Lefebvre, you promoted Bitcoin. Graham Stevens, you unfortunately anybody who promotes Bitcoin and doesn't automatically think it's a Ponzi scheme, shame on you, bro. Shame. Unless you're doing it jokingly and for humor purposes, that's different. If you're doing it for comedy purposes, pretending it's something that it's not, and it's clearly comedy, that's different. But these morons, the YouTube finance space is littered with actual morons. It sucks. Me and Strongman Personal Finance, we're the only ones who are grabbing it by the reins. We're here to unofficially, take over the world of YouTube finance.
What is he lying about now? Not only that, guys, he was fined for his profit. Now, guys, people get investigated all the time. Sometimes there's merit, sometimes they're not. I ask you to look at the whole.
Magic Man, what's going on, bro? It's good to see you, man. We got Tim Smith in the house. We got Magic Man, Jack's Cab. We have Annie, Larson, Christopher, E.T., Tahoe OG. My mussy boy. We had Hezekiah on here earlier. I don't know if Hezekiah is still watching or anything, but we had Hezekiah, TJ, Tiny Lion Gaming, my boy, dude. We have the works, dude. We have everybody. Got good old Annie. Pretty sure I mentioned Annie already, but either way, Annie's awesome. Annie's amazing.
Entire thing. Besides 2020 and him jumping on the hype train, what has Michael Saylor done that's been admirable? This is the guy who's saying, I love Bitcoin. This is what every Bitcoiner in the world says. We love this guy because he loves our stuff. So what? What happened with NFTs? What happened with SPACs? What happened with all these things that are just hype and hype and hype? There ends up being a problem at some point. And frankly, if Warren Buffett was on the hype train, it'd be a lot different than if Michael Saylor was on the hype train. I look at this and say to people who...
It wouldn't be any different. You want to know why it would be different? Okay. People respect Warren Buffett. People don't respect Michael Saylor, okay? If Warren Buffett started telling everybody that Bitcoin was a valuable asset and it mattered, people would wonder if Warren Buffett was off of like any medicine that he was on. People would assume that Warren Buffett's on drugs if he starts promoting Bitcoin. Like, seriously. If you're promoting Bitcoin, man, that's like, it's insanity to me. I think it's insanity. It's ridiculous.
Who love Bitcoin and Michael Saylor, be cautious. This is becoming an echo chamber for you. Be very, very cautious. His stock price went from 330 to 86 in one day. Guys, if Bitcoin price is this volatile and it falls another 60% in 1 year, what would happen to Michael Saylor? Even worse. He talks about Bitcoin being the best thing ever. Guys, as investors, what do? We talk about stock, and if it falls in price and the fundamentals are the same, we buy more of it.
We know that, here's the thing though. We know that buying Coca-Cola stock is more valuable to me, or valuable to anybody really, than buying Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin really is just a gambling pump and dump scheme. Whereas if you buy shares of Coca-Cola, you're buying into a real company. Straight up.
What did Michael Saylor do in 2022 when Bitcoin's price absolutely plummeted? Here's what he did. Check this out. In 2020, he bought 71,000 Bitcoins. And in 2021, he bought 53,000 Bitcoins. In 2022, the price of Bitcoin fell 66%. This guy who loves Bitcoin so much, he sat there and said, this is the best thing ever. It's now 66% cheaper. So clearly he went and bought a ton of Bitcoin, right? He bought 8,000 Bitcoin. 8,000. Follow what somebody does, not what they say. He was sitting there and saying it was such a great investment. It was such a great hedge that he wanted to load up, but he didn't load up. He bought the least amount. Yes, at different prices, but how much has he bought since? The next year, he bought 57,000 Bitcoin. The next year, 2024, 234,000.
Crazy.
And year to date, in 2025, 160 plus thousand. Guys, he's a hype. He's a loser. He's an idiot. He's a moron. And I cannot wait to see it crash and burn. Thank you for your time.
I got to hand it to him. It was the first video that Everything Money's ever made that actually doesn't suck in a while. I'm not a big fan of the Everything Money channel. I consider him basically just another Jeremy Lefebvre, but it's whatever. Do you guys think I should swing trade the SCHD? I was thinking about this because if I was to buy the SCHD, if it was to dip like in a crazy fashion, swing trading the SCHD is, I mean, it's not volatile enough though. That's the problem. I like volatility. So if I'm going to get into anything, I want to know it has intrinsic value. Like that's why I love swing trading silver so much. I will say I do enjoy swing trading silver mining ETFs, like basically they're exchange traded funds that hold a bunch of silver mining companies. And I love swing trading that because it's like I kind of have the protection of some level of diversification, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I really do enjoy swing trading those types of things. I mean, it's just a personal preference when it comes to swing trading, but oh man, I can go on and on about this subject. I think you guys know how obsessed I am with swing trading, though. It's just what I do, bro. It's what I do. Well, we got the Magic Man in the house. Hell yeah. I'm checking something real quick. Hold on. Well, I think for now, I'm a little bit tired. I'm gonna work on a couple things SEO wise for the YouTube channel. So I got to get some of that taken care of. I might play a little bit of NBA 2K13 though for a little bit. Drink some water, obviously. I love drinking my water. I'm a waterholic, man. I can't help it. But hey, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this episode and hang out with me. I know we didn't get a lot of viewers on this particular episode, but that's okay. You know, sometimes you can't win them all. It's totally okay. If you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help us out quite a bit. So the more subscribers we have, the better. We're always trying to, you know, see if we can increase how many people we have as a subscriber base and everything. And I just appreciate y'all for everything, for watching the show, for being patient with me as a content creator. You guys make it all happen. You guys make it wonderful. So I appreciate y'all. I do want to say this, you know, ever since my mom passed, and it's only been over a couple weeks, it's still shocking, to be honest. I'm still not too sure what to think. I just want to say, Mom, I want to end a lot of these episodes with a message to my mom. I know that you passed on and everything like that, and it's tough. But you know, I'm doing a very good job, and I want to just say that you did a great job raising me. I know I wasn't always probably the easiest son to deal with, but you ultimately understood why I did the things I did. You understood that, you know, being like everybody else just wasn't appealing to me, and you respected that. You understood it. You never forced me to be normal. And Dad always tried to get me to be normal. He was always angry that I couldn't be a normal young man. It always pissed him off for some reason. But you were okay with me being different. And for that, I thank you. Sincerely. You know, and the older I got, the more I realized that you and I were more alike than we probably cared to admit, personality-wise. So I love you, Mom. I keep her urn. I have a tiny little urn of her. My brother has the main urn, but I keep a tiny little urn of her close by. It makes me feel better. It's her ashes in here, and it's been, like I said, extremely difficult to deal with all this. So, but anyway, thank you guys. Much appreciated. All of you. Amazing people. Thank you, Mom.